good be? Hoping these should be. It's your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, is DJ EFN?
And this is motherfucking military Yappy Hour.
Make some noise!
When me and EFN started this show, we always said we wanted to give to legends, people that came before us, people that was around us, and this brother right here, in a lot of ways, if he didn't exist, I don't think EFN would exist. I don't think N.O.R.E would exist. I don't think this show would exist. He's kind of like Drink Champ's godfather. I don't even know if he knows this. He's the man's man. DJ, when I tried to Google how many times his name was said on our show, and I think it got to be close to like 300 times. People were just saying hip hop, and when it was invented, he was there. When they were playing disco records, it wasn't even considered hip hop at that time. I'm so excited for this interview to give this brother his flowers, to make sure that he understands how important and how much of a legend he is. Because like I said, not only me and EFN probably wouldn't be here together as friends if it wasn't for him, but guess what, guys? Everyone around here might not be here. No, not you, especially not you. So in case you don't know who the fuck we talking about, motherfucking John. I want to get straight into it. I'm not even gonna like rip the Band-Aid off immediately. I'm a proud Latino. I am a proud Puerto Rican.
I know you are.
And I was watching you on the interviews, and by the way, leading up to this, everyone they always say, man, you gotta get Charlie up here. You gotta have Charlie up here. But me, and this is a question, this is out of pure curiosity. How the fuck did you do what you're doing? Like, because like I was so happy, you know, researching everything about you. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're the originator. You are. You're the originator, but I'm asking you, like me and EFN, when we started this show, we had doubts. And at some point, you know, we were like, are we sure we're gonna do this? So what I'm asking you right now is, when hip hop was originated, you got to see the first parties, you got to be there. Was there any time that you had a doubt that this music will go that far?
Yeah, I mean, remember, you gotta think about,
hold on, yes.
Remember, listen. People try to put a date on hip hop when it started, and
Right.
it's
That's
not
what we've been
fair
hearing
to
a lot.
do that.
Right, we've been hearing.
And I'll tell you why. For example, hip hop was a culture that was already beginning even before Kool Herc.
Right.
Wow.
When people were wearing the Mark Necks, the Kangos, the British Walkers, the Gazelles, that wear all that, the graffiti on the denim, on the jackets, people were already doing that.
Wow.
The parties gave us a place to meet up where we get now. People of
Build
alike
community.
can actually see meet up, see how we were doing, and right then and there we'd see what you were wearing, and yo, I like that, and then the next thing you know, that guy will go back. So the culture was already bubbling up.
Right.
The parties was just a place for us. It wasn't an excuse for us to get together. So now we can. So the culture was already happening.
Right.
So to put a date on it and to even call it hip, it wasn't even called hip hop then.
Wasn't called.
It was the jams. You know, the CNN was the people in the streets, the high schools. Yo, did you hear about this happening this weekend? Did you hear about Flash happening this weekend? Charlie Chase up in the Bronx on 118 Park. I mean, phone calls. There was no beepers. There was no cell phones.
Right.
There was
word
no
of mouth,
internet.
flyers,
no Twitter.
Word of mouth was on fire.
Right.
And think about this. It happened the way it happened because it was brand new, and every single day, every minute of every single day, and everything we did was brand new. You know what that feeling is to wake up every day and it's like, yo, this is brand new. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know we were building a culture. We didn't know we were creating an industry. It was just something that we were
just doing what you did.
Right now, to be fair, to say that I was there at the very, very beginning, it's not true. Because Herc started in '73. That's when they say
you started 75,
and as a disco DJ.
Disco DJ.
I was a disco DJ in 75. Right? I was with my crew, Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry, I got that in my notes.
Right.
Relax,
so,
you're going too far.
Okay, right.
Okay, go.
So I started then into 76, and that's when I started dabbling because I always grew up appreciating and liking R&B music.
Right.
And funk. And I was always, being a musician, I gravitated to it. I loved it. So I was always playing like the Blackbirds or really listening to all this R&B, WBLS. At the time was the total black experience in sound. That was what they used to call themselves. And I was always tuned to WBLS. So I always listened to that music. I loved it. On top of my mother playing salsa, merengue, and all that stuff in the house. So I was always submerged in music. And I learned actually to appreciate everything because growing up, there was a station in New York called it was WABC, 77 WABC.
Okay.
Which is now a sports talk station.
Oh, wow.
But back in the day, it was a music station that played everything. And when I say everything, everything. It was not like compartmentalized like today. You got R&B station, rocks. They literally played everything.
Right.
So I learned how to appreciate everything and all the different styles of music. And I grew up on that station. And that's how and there was, my father was a musician, so there was always music in my house. So that's how I got to appreciate it all.
This morning I was researching, just doing more research, and you made me cry this morning. I'm gonna tell you why.
You gonna make me cry?
You made me cry, but I looked and you said, because me, I'm black and Puerto Rican, right? So when I hang with the black people, they used to make fun of me for being with the Latinos. When I hang with the Latinos, they used to make fun of me for being with the black people. But I really couldn't choose a side. And you said something. You said, yo, when you used to play this music, these people used to come up to you and say, why are you playing this Jungle Bunny music?
Right.
Like, I literally, my shit just was like, holy shit. That's something that was hard for me. When I was, my wife is right there. My wife, is she? She right there. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. So my wife was right there, and I looked, and I was like, yo, his life is literally if you didn't have your life, I might not have had my life. So I looked, so was that something that was hard to balance? You know what I mean? Because there's no blueprint to what you did. Like, you are Fat Joe's blueprint. You are Big Pun's blueprint. You are my blueprint. But you had no blueprint.
Right.
You know, so,
right. Well, it's funny that you say that because my business partner, Eric, when we went to New York to see the De La Calle premiere, and we saw your segment, what you just said to me, I said to them, it's like, bro, I feel like, we share the same parallels. Like, for real. I said that.
You sit down.
All right. I had said that to my business partner at the premiere. My other partner's not here. And I said, man, I can appreciate what he's going through because we basically went through the same things. You were telling your story, that's crazy. So to answer your question, right? I didn't give a fuck about what anybody thought.
Wow.
I really didn't.
I'm glad.
Now, to be honest with you, the people from my age weren't the ones who really bitching and moaning. It was a competition thing, and there was a lot of smack talking.
Right, it was the older
and there were people snapping, a lot of smack talking and that type of thing. But really, the people who were being prejudiced against me at the time
was Puerto Ricans?
Puerto Ricans and the black community because... Remember, I told you it was all new.
Right.
I was one of them guys that would keep people up 1 or 2 in the morning on a Tuesday night when they had to go to work. And they were hating my guts and calling me all kind of shit. And cursing me out, you little fucking Puerto Rican and all this stuff. Really, all the animosity and all the hate, like all the racism and stuff came from the older people because I was really fucking up this. And they didn't understand it.
Right.
They didn't get what was going on.
Right.
I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't get what was going on, but whatever it was something inside inside of me that just made me keep doing it.
Right.
So to answer the question, I didn't give a shit what anybody thought. I liked what I was doing. I was feeling it. Plus, I was getting mad attention from the girlies. So I was like, yo, I'm going to stick with this for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
That was the drive for you.
Right.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I really appreciate you. I want to tell you that.
Thank you.
Because a lot of people, we say that to a person after it's gone or whatever, but me researching you, I was just like, damn, like it just kept going and just kept going and just kept going. And so many people come on this, sit in the same seat as you say, and they like, yo, do you know about Charlie Chase? And we're always like, of course, bro, we want him on. But you're class personified, man, and you're literally the reason why me and EFN is here. Because, like I said, even me and EFN, like we didn't have, there was no podcast like us to give flowers to people, to tell people that, prior to that. So when I'm looking and I'm just telling you, but let's talk about the Moderate Crew. What is it?
Monterey Crew.
Monterey Crew. That's the Monterey Projects, right?
Right. It was a project that was around the corner from my house on 180th and North Avenue. Mm-hmm. They were a bunch of young kids. I was always in the community center, and we would play ping pong and stuff. There was a place to hang out in the winter where we couldn't play
Still
sports
know how to play
outside.
ping pong?
Of course I do.
I think I can bust your ass.
Oh, you right. We can test that.
I got the funky chicken. Ask about it. I got the serve.
Be careful because this old man can still kick a little ass. All right.
But go ahead.
But anyway, so the Monterey Crew, they were always playing music. They had these little baby speakers and stuff like that. And I was always in another community center. And I was with one of the DJs, brother, in a band, in a project band that we have playing instruments, right? Okay. So one day I was going to the back to play some ping pong, and I noticed that the main community room where they throw the parties and stuff was dark, and I'm hearing music, and I'm hearing this music that I'm familiar with, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know all this music, like Jimmy Castor, the Blackbirds, all that, right? So I'm looking through the glass, and it's packed in there. It's a hot box in there. And all I could see was one light. You know how when you take the lampshade, you lift off the shade, and one of those lamps was there. And I saw that. I'm like, and then I saw a familiar face. So I walked in there, and I looked, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And he's like, nah, man, we're just jamming out here. This is what we do. And I'm like, yo, I know these records. They would play, like I said, Jimmy Castor, James Brown, like the cat, records like that.
And this is pre-breaks. This is just they're playing the records.
This is pre-breaks, right? So we would they would actually the breaks already existed. We just brought them up to speed. Remember, some of these breaks were created in the 60s.
But nobody was looping the breaks.
Nobody was looping at the breaks at that time. I didn't see them loop the breaks. Right. We're going to go to Flash, and that's Flash, right? So that when I went in there and I saw them doing it, I'm like, yo, man, I like this. I was already a disco DJ with Tom and Jerry. So I said, man, I know this music. I like this music. I love this music. And when I started picking their brain, and I'm like, you know what? I want to try this. I want to start switching up, because this is why when I seen the crowd appreciating it and dancing to them, we were all young kids at the time. To me, that's, yo, this is cool. So that kind of lit the flame for me to go in that direction, to start playing R&B and that kind of music and stuff, and funk.
Right. So let me ask you, because when I researched, right, it says you dropped in 75, but it says that you got your name from chasing Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah.
But online, it says Grandmaster Flash came out in 78.
Right.
So how could that be if you came out in 75?
No, Flash didn't come out in 78. Flash came out before that, and he'll tell you that himself. I know he was on the show.
Yeah.
But Flash had perfected the quick mix, the theory. He perfected it in 76. He tells me 76 or so, 75, 76. That's when he started doing it. In 76. 77 was when they started doing. Everybody started catching on.
I was born 77. Let's
right.
Go.
So that's when I caught my eye on Flash. It was around 77.
You wanted to battle him, right?
No, I didn't want to battle him because that was Flash. He was bigger than life at the time.
He was like a superhero.
Word. He was big. that was when he had that record, The Grandmaster Flash. And I was like, this motherfucker is cool. You know what I'm saying? So Flash, when I seen him doing what he was doing, I said to myself, yo, I know some of these records that he's playing. I'm like, I can do this, and I saw what he was doing, and I'm like, I know I could do this, you know? So I went back and I started practicing and trying to get it and and I finally
You were
got
mimicking what you would see him doing?
mimicking what I was seeing. Flash,
Right.
you know, if they tell you, listen, they tell you Latinos created hip hop, that's not true.
No, absolutely right.
Were we there to help develop it in the evolution?
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Nobody can take that away from us.
Right.
More you black
Because
motherfuckers.
you can deny it as much as you want, but back in the Bronx, as much as people talk shit, Latinos and the black community, we were like this.
Yes.
We understand?
Yeah.
We had each other's back. We knew that we, like what Grandmaster Cass says, we knew we all we had, we all we got.
Right.
You understand? And we were always close. I always had black friends, and I always had Latino friends, and I was friends with everybody.
Right.
You understand?
And there was a lot of Latinos that didn't come out, that weren't obviously Afro-Latinos.
Right.
That later on, people realized, oh, they're Latino.
Do you know how many friends I knew that I thought were straight up black, and I
Right.
found out I would go visit them and they talk
They was
in Spanish.
Dominican?
They was some of them,
They was
and they
Mr.
were
Lee?
talking Spanish in your house and their house, and I'm like, "You're Spanish? You know?
right.
You speak Spanish?" They're like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, you didn't know? No, I didn't know, motherfucker. You never told me." You know? Yeah, so that was how. So Flash was the reason that I gave myself the name. So I'm like, what am I? You know, I came up with all kind of stupid names. You know,
Before that?
Yeah, like no, I didn't go public with it. This is me in my head.
But let's tell some of them names.
DJ Snake, DJ.
That was EFN's
yeah,
name.
yeah, DJ.
That's some funny names, man.
I forgot some of you, but I did what that was the most, right? And I'm saying to myself, damn, you know, if I'm going to do this, man, I was driven. I always knew that whatever I put my head to, I would be good at. So I said to myself, I know that I'm going to be good at this, and I know that sooner or later, I'm going to meet for Flash.
Right.
I didn't know what to call myself. Now, there was a television show on TV at the time called The Chase, and the way it started was there was a license plate. It said The Chase, and the car would take off. And when I saw that was when I said, that's Charlie Chase right there, because I'm chasing Flash. Flash was ahead of me. I told Flash this. Flash.
Yeah.
I said, I'm chasing Grandmaster Flash. I said, that's the name.
And that's paying homage to him as well.
Of course, man. You know, now, in that time, once you know, I got... Tony is the reason why I really was thrusted into that.
Right.
Because I was known in my neighborhood, in the local blocks in my neighborhood. I was the man.
Right.
You understand? But nobody really knew who I was. I didn't actually get out until I met Tony. He was the one who was already with Breakout, and he was a DJ. So he already knew everybody. He knew Bam, he knew Flash, all these people, and he introduced me to them. So that's how I was basically thrown into the pocket of that. But a lot of these people didn't even know I existed.
Right.
But yet, in my neighborhood, hip hop was, well, the culture was thriving. You know?
So let me ask you, right? I remember, you know, Pun was like my best friend, right?
I met Pun.
I loved Pun so much, but I remember him always being a little upset from a person saying, he's nice for a Latino.
Oh, I hated that.
Chill, relax. but it's what we deal with, right? Some people will say, you know, like where's Diego? Diego was with me, and we were Googling New York Ricans, right?
New Ricans, right?
New York Ricans, right? And we all came up. I was just like, oh shit, I forgot I'm part of the community, right? But let me get back to what I was trying to say. I remember Pun being disgusted that people would say, Pun, you're nice for a Puerto Rican.
For a Puerto Rican. I got that shit a lot.
So I remember Pun talking, fuck this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to realize, holy shit, they're telling that about me. They're like, N.O.R.E's nice for a Puerto Rican.
Mm.
Is that something that, I know you just said it, but I want to ask it and reiterate it. How, you had to deal with this way longer than me. So how did that feel, like hearing that?
To be honest with you, it didn't affect me. You want to know why? Because I didn't know any better. I didn't know.
Wow.
I didn't feel like it was a racist remark. I didn't feel any of that because I didn't feel racism at that time. I wasn't raised that way or to think that way. I didn't know what that was or how severe. I wasn't exposed to the severity of racism until much later. Right. So when I heard that, I was like,
that's beautiful.
To me, that was a freaking compliment. It's like, yo, that's coming from the black community. Yo, that's a compliment.
Right.
That's showing me that I'm doing something right.
Right.
So I never really took offense to it. Never did, you know?
Right.
But to tell you about Big Pun, I met him one time.
Get out of here.
One time.
Okay.
I was playing at Jimmy's Bronx Cafe.
God damn it.
It was
I
a
can
Tuesday-
smell Jimmy's Bronx Cafe as you said it.
It was a Tuesday night. And somebody says, yo, Pun is here. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I said, yo, take over. I got to speak to Pun. I want to meet him.
Right.
I see he's sitting down with one other cat, right? He's sitting at a table. He's eating. So I'm like, damn, I don't want to disturb him. I said, but I'm not going to get another chance to talk to him, and I got to get back to what I'm doing. So I go over to him very politely. I said, excuse me, sir. I said, Pun, excuse me. And he's annoyed, like, general, like, he got the look like, what the fuck you are, you know? And I said, listen, I know we don't know each other. I don't mean to disturb you, but I felt that I really needed to introduce myself to you. I said, my name is DJ Charlie Chaser. The cold course, he lost.
He lit up. Yeah, of course.
He got up. He got up.
Yes.
He threw his arms around me.
Yeah.
He hugged me. Said, "You don't understand. Thank you."
Yeah.
He was thanking me, giving me all kind of accolades and stuff. And I said to him, I said, "Yo, I just wanted to come by, meet you, and say, bro, that I'm proud of what you're doing, the way you represented us."
Yes.
And he turned to his man and he said, "You hear this? He says he's proud of me. Brother, you don't understand it."
I feel like I was there. Like I can see,
That's dope.
I can
That's
saying it. I can see where y'all
And exactly went that way. We spoke for 15 minutes or so because I had to get back and we exchanged numbers.
Right.
And I never got to see him again after that. But that was it felt good to hear that coming from somebody, because at that point he was already successful.
Right.
You understand? And to hear that from him, you know, to hear it from when you start getting my age and you hear people giving you props, younger people who are successful, you say to yourself, that at least for me, that leaves a good impression, makes me feel good, because damn, that shit, I still got a little gas in the tank.
Right, you left a legacy. That's legacy.
Right. So it makes me feel good. So Pun made me feel good when he said that, you know, and I really felt good meeting him, and I think his reaction was my reward.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It was my reward.
Right, let me just tell you something. And I want to reiterate it. I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Literally, if it wasn't for you and your relentlessness, for what you did, I don't think Drink Champs would exist.
Right.
This is a real talk. This is real talk. I mean, he's one of the most stubborn persons I know. And I am too, in a different way. But our love for each other is hip hop.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for you and what you did, the legacy that you laid out prior to us, you actually Drink Champs father, bro. Our show is about giving people their flowers. Our show, and we want to give you your flowers face to face, man to man. Tell you how rich you are.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Yes, nah, man.
This is dope.
And so let's talk
More than
about you.
deserved.
They're trying to rename the Puerto Rican Day Parade after you.
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm
they're
glad you brought that up.
Okay,
because
okay.
this year I thought I was being punked at first.
Okay, no.
They called me up and said, listen, you know, we see the way, we know that you've been doing this. And the person, actually, the director now is a friend of mine who I grew up with as kids.
Oh,
we used to
wow.
work Youth Corps in New York City together.
Job Corps or Youth Corps?
Youth Corps,
Okay.
when you had the jobs and stuff like that. Lillian Rodriguez, she's now the chairman of the parade.
Okay.
So I've known Lillian for years. We grew up in the same clique, same friends, you know, like family.
Wow.
And she called me up and she said, Chase, I know you for mad years. I feel that you've never gotten your flowers. She says, I see. She says, you
We get your flowers first.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So she said, you never got your flowers, and she says you've done so much, you've uplifted the Hispanic community so much that I just want, and I ask you if you would like to be the 2024 Puerto Rican Day ambassador for the parade.
That's incredible.
Okay.
And then I said, stop fucking with me, Lillian.
Right.
But she says, no, straight up. And I was like, are you for real? She said, yeah. I'm like, I was speechless. I always got some shit to say.
Right.
And I was like, yeah.
Right.
I said, yes, I'll do it.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
I'm like, this comes full circle for me. As much as I've been representing
of
my
the
people.
2024.
So I'm the ambassador. Now there's a few other honorees like
Okay.
Lisa. Well, I can't speak on. I shouldn't be.
Yeah,
saying
Lisa,
that.
blow it up. Blame it on the alcohol.
She'll be the madrina. She's the madrina.
She's madrina.
Not madrina.
Okay.
She's parade. There are a few other people. Like I'm not going to say because I'm going to let them allow them just.
J-Lo coming out and shit like that?
Oh, I don't know. That yet.
I'm fucking with you.
But yeah, so this year I'm going to be they're having this big banquet at the Plaza Hotel in all the honorees' honor. On Friday, Saturday, of course, is 116th Street. We're going to be up there hanging out.
Right, Spanish
The parade
Harlem.
is Sunday, and then they're throwing me a big after party from the parade in my honor, and they invite them all kind of people, celebrities, all kind of stuff, man. So for that, man. So if you're in town, man, you guys are more than welcome to come, bro.
Well, fuck, I'm coming just for you. Of course.
Yeah, man. So that's a big honor for me. It's a huge honor.
Huge honor.
You know the acceptance that you feel coming from something like that. I mean, the parade is look. It's the biggest parade besides the West Indian parade in Brooklyn. That's the biggest parade, bigger than the Thanksgiving parade, bigger than the St. Patrick's Day parade, bigger. 3 million people in attendance, 5 million people watching on TV. Come on, man. How could you not?
Honestly, you should have gotten this honor a long time ago.
Yeah,
to be honest.
You know what? I've never been the type to feel like I would be mad because of something that I didn't get. You ever see somebody who wins prizes and be like, damn, I only got $100. I should have got this. That's not me. I'll be the 100. Yo, thank you. You know, That's how I feel about it. Didn't get it before. That's cool. I'm not worried about what I didn't get. I'm really more appreciative of what I'm getting while I'm still alive, damn it.
I want to tell you a story real quick. My father made me go to every Puerto Rican Day parade, right? And by the way, my father was a foul guy. He made me sell beers too. I was the little kid. Hey. You know the little kids?
Yeah.
You know, back then it wasn't foul to sell beers as a little kid.
He taught you how to be awesome.
He told me, damn, all right, calm down. All right, so.
Little voice back here.
And here's what's crazy. Fat Joe always remembers. He's like, you know, the first day I met you was at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And I had LA, and Fat Joe seen me, and no one wanted me on their float. No one. They was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
And Fat Joe was like, you Puerto Rican, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, get your ass up there. And he put me on the float. And for anybody, if you're Puerto Rican, it's a beautiful thing. Even if you're not Puerto Rican, to see that energy of the city. They shut down Madison, what is it, Madison Avenue?
Avenue. Fifth Avenue.
Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue is one or the other.
That's dope. I've been able to walk the parade.
You walked the parade.
When Pun passed away, I was working for Echo and Loud Music, and they asked my team down south to come up there. They flew us out, and they had us walk the parade. Fat Joe, Ja, Remy was on the float, and they had us. Our team was passing out these Pun towels, but they were playing 100% for the first time for everybody.
Oh, 100%. Okay.
And the chills.
That's super Puerto Rican.
The chills when that was playing. He had just passed away. It was crazy, man. But the parade was dope.
I love. So I'm so honored that you being honored, because that's me being honored.
Thank you.
I'm sharing it with you. I'm just
Let
going.
me tell you something. I am so pro Puerto Rican. I am so. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm so freaking.
I like you got your notes. You
I
got notes over there.
I got my little show and tell package here.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud that everywhere I've played on the entire planet, I've taken these with me. Now, this was a gift given to me by my boy DJ Nonstop, who was the DJ for K7 and the Swing Kids, and then he was a DJ for DMX.
Okay.
He was DMX.
Wow.
I went to Chicago to DJ for the Rocksteady crew, and he gave me these as a gift.
Wow.
He gave me these as a gift right here, and I take them everywhere on the planet I rock. Everywhere on the planet that I rock, these babies play with me, because I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of being Puerto Rican, and I show this to everybody. I don't have a problem with that, you know. So
let me ask you, my two closest Latino friends is EFN and Fat Joe.
Right.
And they didn't like when I started reggaeton.
I saw that in the documentary.
But we had our reasons. We had our reasons.
They had their reasons. But right, me personally, I discovered reggaeton in Puerto Rico. I went to Puerto Rico and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I thought it was, I called it Latin reggae. Mm-hmm. So then I went to Club Rumbas. Rumbas used to be Club Fever.
I remember that, yeah.
Club Fever. Legendary John Gungi Rivera. I don't know, you'll promote it. You probably don't even know. So I would go there. But let me ask you, because you're a part of the original hip hop, right? Like, were you offended when you first heard reggaeton, or was this something like?
No.
How did you feel? Like,
no.
I want to ask you.
I'm a lover of music.
Okay.
To be honest with you, at first I thought it was reggae. Because it had that vibe
That's what I
to
said.
it.
I felt it was Latinos trying to impersonate a patois in Spanish.
Right, El General.
Over-
Like how
El
you-
General did it right, I
Right,
felt.
right.
He did it right. But when
Boom, boom,
because I went to
mommy,
Puerto
mommy,
Rico.
mommy.
I went to Puerto Rico early on too, and I heard it over there. And I was like, I don't know about this, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Because we were here trying to make sure we maintained our respect as Latinos in hip hop, lyricism, and all this stuff. And then I'm hearing this, and I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna play over here. It sounds like Latinos trying to do this, patois and faking it. But then hearing later on, though, after he did what he did, which revolutionized everything, and just moving forward now, the evolution of reggaeton has gotten, the genre has just, they've really gotten creative in it, and I have a total different respect for it. But back then, I wasn't respecting it.
So
at
what
first.
was your first? I want to know your
Well,
first.
at first I thought it was reggaeton, right? That's what I'm
Reggae.
sorry,
Reggae.
reggae music,
Right.
right? And it was cool, and I'm like, and being that I had already heard El General, it was like, okay, it's cool. It didn't strike me as anything new, but I started noticing that it started sounding a little bit more. It started creating a more cohesive sound of its own.
Right.
Right? And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to notice it. It didn't bother me. I kind of enjoyed it at first. What really bothered me more about it was more like the styles, the way they were just like, yo, get out of the 80s, yo. It's like, bro, move up, you know?
They was using the same, what is it?
Well, the beats, yeah. To me, it always sounded like a jacked up
No,
Murder
it's the
She
same
Wrote.
beat. It's the same beat.
Right. But remember, reggaeton when it came out also was much faster.
Right.
It was a much faster
Right.
tempo, so it was very danceable and stuff. And I enjoyed it. I really didn't. I wasn't hating on it or anything, you know. And then, of course, later on, reggaeton did like normal Puerto Ricans do when people criticize them. Fuck yo, we doing what we doing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But when I saw what you did, and when I saw the documentary, you were telling me what happened. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that you were the. I mean, I remember the record. I remember the song
Yeah.
when you brought it.
Yeah.
Boricua Morena, right?
Yeah.
But when I saw the documentary, I didn't realize that was the song.
That was the game changer.
That
yeah.
was the one that
I put my own career on the
catapulted-
line
you
for my
did.
people.
You did, because we could be critical of ourselves. No
And let
doubt.
me-
It crossed it over here.
And let me
That's
tell
what
you
it did.
something. I received so much slack from the black community. I'm being honest, and I'm black and Latino, so I'm gonna say it straight up. Black people were looking like, well, stay Puerto Rican, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been Puerto Rican my whole life. Like, why I gotta stay Puerto Rican now? They're like, stick with rice and peas.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, I like jerk chicken too. Motherfucker, I do chicharrón de pollo con hueso. You know what I mean? But
So let me ask you a question, right? Okay, because
let's go.
growing up, like I had said earlier, there were blacks. There were people that my black friends, right, who were Hispanic, and they never told me.
Right.
Did you ever feel that you needed
No.
moments? And I'm not judging or anything,
Okay.
but did you ever feel like at some point, like sometimes you couldn't say, "Yeah, I'm Hispanic," because you were afraid that
No.
if you expose yourself, they were going to look at you differently?
My father was the Puerto Rican with the tail, 15,000 tattoos, earrings. He wore Newports under his shit. He played handball all day. Like, he was the super Puerto Rican.
Right,
Like,
right,
he was, like, if you looked up Puerto Rican, my father's there, like this.
Right,
Or anything.
right.
You know what I mean? So, he installed to be the proudest Puerto Rican ever. And then my mother was like kind of like the opposite of, she was like Afrocentric. So it was just like, all right, cool. I couldn't choose.
Right.
Like I called myself, it's a wrong word now to say it, but I called myself Niggerican my whole life. I'm Niggerican. They're like, hey, what's your race? Niggerican. They're like, motherfuckers like, you're not supposed to say that.
Right.
But I always been that. And then I met my brother's mother, my brother Cookie, not Mario, my older brother, who I didn't know in my childhood, and she was more Afrocentric than any black person in the world. She proved to me that she was Afro-Latina, that's what you call it?
Yeah.
But she proved to me that Puerto Ricans are black. and black people are it's the same.
And
Absolutely.
our Latino culture, for the most part, is African culture. Like
Absolutely.
the food, the music.
Absolutely. I never deny that. When you ever see people that get in an argument, like sometimes I would get into an argument with my black friends, and they're like, "You're black," and I'm like, "You're fucking right." You know, it's like, what the fuck? I'm not arguing with you. I know my roots. You know, I know my roots. What the fuck? I mean, I look it, but I understand it.
Culturally, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
But by the way, how dope is hip hop? Because hip hop is smart.
Yeah.
If you listened, I know there's some dumb motherfuckers out there. We ain't talking about the dumb motherfuckers. We talking about the smart motherfuckers. But yes, I liked what you said earlier. You was like, yo, I'm a proud Puerto Rican. And one thing that I knew about being proud to be something, that doesn't mean you anti anything else.
Right.
You could be pro Puerto Rican without being anti anything.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I am pro black, but I'm not anti white.
Right.
I'm pro Puerto Rican, but I'm not anti Cuban.
Right.
Well, sometimes you talk some shit.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm married to a Cuban. What the fuck are you talking about? My kids are Cuban. What are you talking about? But so what I'm trying to say is, so many people be offended sometimes, but. Again, is it time for quick time with Slime?
Let's do it.
We're going to do quick time.
But before we go there,
okay.
On this point,
Yeah.
we always have to ask ourselves, who benefits off the division? Because this is the thing that I always think about. Early hip hop was a mix. You know, it was everybody was there. If you were living under those conditions that hip hop
Including
was
white
started,
people.
Yeah, no,
including white people, right?
people.
I mean, you could tell me.
I was from 180 north of Little Italy was just 3
Little
blocks
Italy,
away.
that's Arthur's. It's Little Italy, right?
It was just 3 blocks away.
Right.
So fast forward, hip hop becomes this humongous commodity, this money making machine. Then it's picked up by the music industry, which discards what doesn't make money musically, the other stuff in hip hop, the important stuff in hip hop, and starts to make money off of it. Then all this division, like who profits off of the division to say, you're not a part of it, you're not a part of it, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And that's what we should all think about at the end of the day.
Because it's like what you were saying when I was watching you in the interviews, you was going through the same thing that I was going through. There's people coming up to you saying, why are you playing this jungle music?
Right.
What do they call it? Jungle bunny music?
Jungle bunny music.
Yeah, jungle bunny
yeah.
music. So I imagine you dealt with this way more than me and EFN.
Yeah.
And you dealt with it.
Because nobody understood it. It was.
Yes.
It wasn't what it is now. That it was just something only that the young community knew about and understood.
But imagine how dangerous the older generation wasn't accepting of it, but now you have this young generation that's uniting under this culture.
Steve.
How powerful has that become, and how scary to whatever powers that be? Not to get into conspiracy, but I'm just saying, like, you divide and conquer. You can monetize it. You can divide these people and say you're not a part of it. The DJ's no longer important. The B-boy and the B-girls are no longer important. Graffiti's not a part of this. Only the rappers and all that different stuff. This is a long thing we can get into, but it's something to think about.
But that's not where the real danger comes. The division, you don't have to worry about the outside
Internally?
forces. It's the internal division. That's where the problem is. That's the dangerous stuff here. And I always say, why? First of all, rich, real wealthy white millionaires, they ain't fighting and they ain't mad. So why do we have angry Puerto Rican and black millionaires? Why are y'all angry? You're millionaires. What do you got to be mad about, right? Mm-hmm. And the other thing is that, if you really want to make the change, why don't we talk about the real issues here instead of fighting each other and trying to create division within us? And I don't really engage in divisive conversations.
Right.
I'm not giving you a platform for you to try to create more division.
Right.
I mean, we got more important things. Like, for example, why didn't we coin the phrase hip hop? Why are other people trying to register the name and that we coined? Why didn't we do that? Why is it that we don't have more Latino and black owned businesses within the industry?
Right.
Let's talk about that.
It's real.
You know what I'm saying?
It's real.
Why is it that we don't own hip hop? Everybody else is trying to own hip hop. I'll give you an example. Look at all these shows that are coming up. They have the titles hip hop in it. They only have the title hip hop in it because they know that that's what's going to attract. That word is powerful. Right. How many MCs that you see on shows right now? When you see this show, it's nothing but hip. It is not really hip hop when you take away the turntables from the stage.
Right. Right.
Those are the real issues that we should be focusing on. These are the things that we need to come together with to help create more wealth and more businesses for people. We own that. That's ours.
And pride.
We've sacrificed
Right.
a lot for that. So why are we fighting against each other? I'm not with that, man. And I don't give it a platform. I don't give it any credence. I stay away from all of that, man. You know how many times they try to, I see people making negative comments. I don't even respond. I'm like, you don't even exist, bro. Just, I move on.
I want one of those Charlie Chase shirts.
I'm glad you said that.
Size large.
E, can you give me the bag?
Yeah, size large. Size large. Come on,
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
That shit,
That shit look so good. And you got the Puerto Rican thing on the turntable.
My slip maps.
Yo!
Yeah.
I'm sorry, EFN. If he only has one, I'm taking it.
No. I actually texted him and asked him. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna play a game.
doing quick
It's
time?
on our show. It's called Quick Time with Slime.
See what
Uh-huh.
guys.
Can you explain the rules like how Paul always explains you?
Oh,
the
we
rules?
never explain it properly. We're gonna give you 2 choices. This is our drinking game, by the way.
Okay, I've seen it. You're notorious with this.
So you more or less know.
You're notorious with this.
You
man.
get 2 choices. You pick one. You don't drink. We don't drink.
I'm gonna give you this in a second.
Yes, no
You pick
problem.
one. You don't drink. If you say both, you say you don't want to choose. Like you say both or neither.
I see how y'all,
we drink it.
how you Flash did Scram Joe's. I felt bad for him. Oh my God.
You did him dirty. You
At
did
the
him
end of
dirty.
the interview, he was redder than a balloon.
Flash
Oh,
was
my
enjoying
God.
it way too much.
By the way, Scram was enjoying it too. By the way,
I thought Scram was gonna throw.
at the end, but at the beginning, he loved it. Okay, so we're gonna start. Okay, all right.
You got the first one.
By the way, I just want you to know, me and EFN do not make these questions.
No, the
it's
Colombian
the
and
Dominican and the Colombian over there. We got the United Nations of
Okay.
we have every race here, just so you know. But this is a fucking great question. I don't know which one of them came up with this one. Cool Herc or Grandmaster Flash?
In any story,
I'm
you
gonna
want
give
to
you an
say.
answer, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, yes, please.
Cool Herc.
Okay,
He saved my life one day. Physically saved my
Wow.
life.
we need to hear it.
All right. We were having the 39th anniversary of Cold Crush Brothers.
Wow.
We had it
We
at
gotta
the club
talk about
downtown on Canal Street.
Wow.
The opening act was The Roots, and they weren't even known yet. They weren't known.
Roots, you said.
The
Okay.
Roots.
Okay.
They were the opening act. We didn't know them. I get there. Now, through the day, I was not feeling well. I was getting these pains. So I get there. I'm on the stage. We're setting up the equipment. I'm feeling worse now. By this time, it's evening. I'm feeling worse. I saw Questlove behind me setting up. We introduced ourselves and everything. And I got really sick, and I went to the back of the green room, right? And back there was DST, Cool Herc. There were a lot of, for our anniversary, a lot of people showed up. So the room was filled with a lot of celebrities and stuff, right? At this point, I'm on the sofa, bent over in pain. I'm in pain.
Wow.
And DST says, "What's wrong with him?" And somebody said, "I don't know, man. He's in pain right now." And Tone was like, "Yo, you think you're gonna be able to go on?" I said, "I want to, but I can't. I'm just in too much pain." And DS says, "Yo, we need to rush him to the hospital." Herc threw me in his car, drove me lightning speed all the way up to the Bronx to Montefiore.
From Canal Street to the Bronx. Okay.
Because I said I didn't want to go to this hospital in Manhattan. I wanted to be by my house.
Okay.
So he drove me all the way to Montefiore.
Wow.
He drops me off at the emergency room. I get there. I'm bent over in pain. The doctor comes over and examines me.
Appendicitis? What was it?
30 seconds later, we got to take him to the emergency room. It's his appendix, and it might rupture. They had to run me in. After that, the doctor told me, "You're lucky you're here." He says, "Maybe another hour or so, you wouldn't be talking to me right now." So Herc,
Respect to Herc for that.
that's my brother, man. He saved my life. Everybody else was concerned, no doubt, but Herc was like, "Fuck this."
took action. He took action.
He threw me in the car and he took me all the way up to the hospital.
Let me ask you something, because we had Crazy Legs up here. And this is the first time I ever heard anybody say this. Crazy Legs was kind of like Herc wasn't the first person to play hip hop.
Well, I don't know if he said to play hip hop, but
He kind of like he said that.
he says that party wasn't necessarily the date, which he kind of said in the beginning.
Right.
Wasn't the date that started hip hop necessarily.
Right. And I thought I was going to receive 3,500, 4 million calls. What the fuck? And I want to be honest, Charlie Chase. I didn't get that one phone call.
Right.
Not one person said Crazy Legs is lying.
Right.
Yeah, nobody.
Did you?
No.
This is our first time even talking about this, right?
No. I thought we was gonna get all kinds of backlash.
I thought I was gonna be crucial. I thought we was.
And I think, to be exact, he said the party as terms of the date, and that there was other DJs around that time and before
he was
doing
saying
what he was doing already. That's what he kind of more or less said.
I definitely need your opinion on that.
Well, okay. It all depends. I guess everybody understood the context that Crazy Legs was putting it in, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can get that. I can kind of see where he's coming from for that, because there are questions. Not taking anything away from Herc, because he did what he did when he started, and that's the point that everybody knows. That everybody, it's like a record comes out, everybody knows the popular version, but nobody really heard the joint underground version, right? So I wasn't there, I don't know, but I know people that were there. If I wish my business partner was here, because he knows, he can speak to this. When the gangs were fighting, and Bambaataa was the one who unified the gangs,
brought
right?
them together, right.
He was playing music for them at the time. He was already entertaining them doing this, and this was pre Kool Herc.
Right.
So I don't know, but I think that's what maybe Crazy Legs might be referring to, and I've heard these things. So it's really hard. That's why I said earlier, it's really hard to put a start date on anything, because the culture was always there.
So wait,
I respect.
Based on what you're saying, so would it be that someone could say Bambaataa would have been that figure that we're giving to Kool Herc?
It could have been. It could have been, but you'd have to. I guess Crazy Legs would have to elaborate more on that. I can't really speak on it, because I only hear things, and I can't. Without more information, I can't make an educational decision on that. You know what I mean? But it is it's an interesting point.
It is.
Right.
You know, and again, I mean, the culture was already bubbling up before Herc was. People were already dressing the way they were dressing and doing what they were doing. You can't take nothing away from Herc. Herc is Herc. He did what he did. You know, everybody, he had the Herculoid sound system. He was bigger than life. Herc, they called him Herc because he was bigger than life.
Right.
You know, when I met Herc, he was a big dude. I mean, you know, you can't take anything away from Herc.
Absolutely not.
But you can't take anything away from Bambaataa either.
When the last time you smoked a blunt?
No, I don't. It's been years.
I wanted to see if you would fall for it.
It's been years.
Did you? I don't know if you were in the movie, or have you watched Rebel Kings?
I think I might have. I'm not sure. It sounds familiar.
Okay, no, I wanted to know if you did, because I actually.
If I didn't, I'm going to go back and watch it.
Because I tell people ask me, you know, they want to know more about the history of hip hop, and I feel like that doc, because it predates, it goes before hip hop. It's like I'm talking about the Bronx and New York in that era in the late 60s, and it goes slowly into hip hop. I wanted to see if you thought that was a good film to kind of like explain
I'd have to
beginning.
see it.
No, I ain't even see that. What's
No, it's a great movie. Rumble Kings.
Oh, Rumble Kings.
I felt like you might have been in it.
The Rumble Kings. Yes. I saw
Was it
this.
Rumble or Rubble?
It's Rubble. Is it Rubble?
Rumble, right?
Kings. Yes.
Rumble Kings.
I saw it, and I don't remember a lot of it, man, because it was a while back.
Because it talked about that funk band, I think.
Right, during the gangs and right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, if you get a chance to watch it, hit me on the side and tell me, this seems pretty accurate.
I'm going to watch it. So let me ask you, how much cocaine was involved back then?
Oh, my God. I did it.
That's not a quick time. You said cocaine or what?
I personally did enough cocaine to kill 10 elephants, man.
You guys were hella coked up back then, bro.
Bro, let me tell you.
And Diego walks in and just cocaine print right there.
And all y'all that talk about cocaine look all right for, you know, like, yeah.
Yo, they fucking...
Like, cocaine's a hell of a joke.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Everyone who did cocaine back then looks great now. What the fuck? Like, you guys are great.
You got collagen in it.
That's the healthiest cocaine ever.
My cocaine experience started, and he hates when I say this, and he gets mad. DJ Breakout.
Okay.
DJ Breakout from the Funky Four.
Yeah,
Funky Four.
He was the one that gave me my first hit of cocaine at the Ecstasy Garage in the Bronx. Right?
At the Ecstasy Garage?
The Ecstasy Garage?
The Ecstasy Garage.
Okay, I need to hear the story. Let's go.
Yeah. So it was me. We were playing at the Ecstasy Garage. Right.
Did you have ecstasy too?
No.
I
never dealt with that anyway. But
it's fantastic.
So I go to the bathroom, right, and Tony Tone follows me because we got to go. And Breakout was in there and he was taking a hit of cocaine, and I was curious because I had already I had seen them taking cocaine, and I was like, what does that do?
Because it
for
wasn't
you?
a bad thing.
And
at
you
the
heard
time.
white lines this time. Was white lines?
No, that wasn't out yet. That wasn't out yet.
No,
I
bro.
can't. I'm fucking up your story. Let's go.
This is the time of when Curtis Blow came out with Christmas rap, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So I was like, I'm like, how does it feel? And he's like, you never took it? I said, no. He says, here. So I took a hit, a bump, right? And I didn't feel shit. So I said, he says, here, take another one. And I still didn't feel
You better
shit,
relax.
right?
Don't take another one.
I go back to DJ. Yo, I was like, what the hell is going on? Tony told, yo, slow down. You know, he says, slow down. He's like, you're not on beat. You're not on beat. Oh my God. Tony told to tell you. And break out hates when I include him in this way, but it's the truth. He was the first one to give it to me. Now, fast forward, bro, growing up in the business, and people loved me, and they were doing. They were like, "Yo, you're the fucking shit." Bow now, here's some yo, you know, like here, bro, liquor, and I never paid for it for years and years and years and years, bro, to the point where I was doing it like crazy, bro. Yo. I was but at one point it got really serious. It was like now I'm starting to buy it because now I'm feeling like I want to have it. It makes me feel good, and it got out of control for me, man. It did. But fast forward, last September, 15 years clean. To me, you know what? That's an accomplishment for me, bro.
You did it on your own, or you had to go through any kind of program?
I had some accountability brothers that they were there and helped me out, man. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have probably been able to make the journey. But yeah, 15 years now, clean, haven't messed with it. I still drink, you know.
Right.
But the funny thing with me is that I always thought that the cocaine was what started the drinking, because I used to drink mad Heinekens, and it was the other way around. It was the Heinekens that were making me. So now, you know, I stopped the blow, and now I just take a drink or two or whatever, and I'm good, man. No more.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Yeah, but drugs were big, instrumental, bro.
And in the 80s, right?
In the 80s were a blur.
Yeah.
The 80s are a blur, bro. I could barely
Bro, look, in Wildstar, who was it that, is it Busy Bee that's...
Yes, in the movie.
I was like, when I remember watching it as a kid, I was like, oh, he's, yeah.
Wait, what happened? I forgot this part of the movie.
When he goes back with the chicks right in the limo.
In the room. Yeah, in the room. They're taking cocaine, they get high, champagne.
Yeah.
They're in the room. He's shaping his money into B. Oh, it was crazy. That film, we could talk about that.
No, we're going to get into this.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. We'll get back to it. Hold on.
Ready?
All right. Yeah, you got the next one?
Yeah, Grandmaster Caz or Almighty KG?
Come on, man. Grandmaster Caz, hands down, brother.
Make the noise to Grandmaster.
Listen. Besides, listen, I'm biased, man. That's my brother. Nobody is ever.
That's the word I've been trying to use all day.
Right, I'm biased. That's my brother. To me, he is the best that ever did it.
Right.
Think about this for a second. Caz wrote. You know, he's the ghostwriter on Rapper's Delight. Mm-hmm. He wrote that when he was 16 years old. Dude.
But he was unwittingly the ghostwriter. Right. He
wrote that verse, all of Big Banks Hank's verse on that record when he was 16. Come on, he was a genius.
Right.
Kaz is a genius. Kaz is, I think, the only MC that I've ever met that can flip the script on anything. You need something that's going to fit a white audience. He'll do it in all you do, give him a second, a heartbeat. I says, okay, Chase, let's go. Any crowd, anything. Kaz is the man, and I'm biased, but because, bro,
you ain't biased.
I've dealt with greatness. I've worked with Mel.
We've heard this about Kaz.
Yes.
Kaz was.
I've worked with Mo. I've worked with Mel. I worked with Kaz. Yo, you know, they're all three bad, but Kaz to me, man, that's my brother.
And by the way, Kaz still smoke a lot of marijuana.
He's like a broke stove.
He did not. We had him right here. He kept rolling.
Yeah, he's ill, bro. He's ill. He's
smoking.
still ill,
He kept smoking. All right, boom. Okay, go ahead. You got the next one?
80s or 90s hip hop?
90s. Because they had the more jazzy flow. By then it was established. They had that thing, you know, something more to grab.
Right.
The 80s, when you hear the music, we were still finding our way. We were still trying to find our way. Record labels didn't even catch on until 83, 82 maybe. You know, we were signed to CBS CBS Associated label.
Look at that. We're damn near label mates. We started with CBS Radio for the podcast.
Right. And we were the first hip hop group they signed, and they didn't know how to market us. They didn't know how to promote us. They didn't know what the hell to do with us.
Right.
And finally, when
That
they got
happened with us with CBS.
Yeah,
and then finally, when they got a handle, they shelved us and said, "Okay, now that we got it right, let's bring in us some new blood." Yeah.
But real quick on that one, saying the 90s, you don't think the late 80s, like if you were to be able to change because I feel like the Rakims and the KRSs and the Big Daddy
Well,
Kanes,
to me-
so late 80s going into the early 90s to me would be that,
Right.
that
So see
sweet
now,
spot.
when it comes to timelines, I'm always this is the 50 years over 50 years
right,
of
right,
music, but. To me, the timelines always get blurred. But yes, if you really look at it from like Rakim on up,
Yeah.
that's when really things. Rakim changed. He set
Changed,
the
yeah.
blueprint.
Yep.
He changed the game, and from there on, yes,
Right.
you know. So I always consider that. To me, it was always 90s because it still had that feel to it.
Absolutely.
To me,
Right.
Okay.
Break dancing or graffiti?
Okay. Yeah.
Remember, you can say both
You know,
of
this is a
neither.
drinking game, just so you know.
I know it is.
You could
but
take a
you're
shot.
giving me questions that I can answer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
That was great.
Okay, now I love graffiti, but I never had the eye for the art. So sometimes I will see graffiti, and you got me doing this to try to figure out the way it's written, what it's saying, or whatever. Although I love the colors, I love the way they structure everything. I was never able to really get into it because I always had a hard time reading the graph.
Right.
So b-boying was more into it because remember, Charlie Chase started as a b-boy DJ. You understand? When I
Right.
finally got acclimated with the beats and stuff like that.
Before you were part of Cold Crush, you were,
Right.
that's what you were
and
doing.
when I was
parties.
playing at 118 Park, the park across the street from it, there were b-boys.
Right.
Always showing up and representing. So the b-boy, man, they you know, that's a strong love in the heart, man. You
That
know,
makes
go way
sense.
back.
I respect that. Go take the next one.
Red Alert or Kid Capri?
Okay.
Two Bronx people.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
But you see now, remember, you're posing these questions to somebody who has a.
I'm trying to get you to drink, Charlie.
I know you are. I know you are. But you're talking to somebody who has an emotional attachment to some of these people that you're talking
I
to.
respect you.
Red Alert. I know Red Alert when he used to have a 19-inch red ass afro like this. Before he was a DJ, but he really wasn't known. He was part I think it was the Cosmic Force or Cosmic Crew, something like that. I've known him since then.
Right.
You know, and he was always the brother that he is today, always loving, always welcoming,
Great dude.
always, you
Great.
know. So yeah, that's my brother, man. We still talk, we call each other, make sure we good. And yeah, it has to be Red Alert, man.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, get to the next one. All right, I'm sitting there.
Jam Master Jay or Eric B?
That would have to be Jam Master Jay because Jam Master Eric B. I met him maybe once or twice. We spoke. I mean, I never have anything bad to say about anything because they all show me so much love and respect.
Right.
Jam Master Jay, I have a bit of a connection to because we worked on that album, The Godfathers of Threat, that we were on, and Chuck D was the producer.
Wow.
He brought us on. Jam Master Jay came to our house because Kaz and I were living together. We had an apartment downtown. He came to the house. He sat down with us, spoke with us. He said, we want to do this project. We want you to come in. I want to bring the Cold Crush and stuff. So we went and we did that project. We became friends. We were tight. He told me about the whole thing, the Run DMC experience, how we inspired them and all of
Influenced them,
that.
right.
So, and then after he passed away, that really kind of, it may be morbid to say, but it kind of reinforced that with me and him, because
Right.
I knew the brother, man,
Yeah, rest in peace to Jam.
Yeah.
Peace.
Beat Street or Wild Style?
Wild Style.
I was mad that he
question.
didn't say that.
No question.
I don't know that he's gonna drink.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he ain't drinking at all.
You know what? Just for you, N.O.R.E. Where's the?
No,
You gotta get something. One of these.
we gonna-
I guess that's a major rule.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay,
catch
okay.
you at one point.
If
Come
we
on.
don't drink anything, we'll have a shot at the end.
Yeah, we have a shot at it.
LL Cool J or Big Daddy
Can
Kane?
you text me racket address?
Okay. I love them both.
Texas.
Those are my brothers.
Wait, what was it?
But
LL or Kane?
Big Daddy Kane, it's a joke between myself and Kane. I always call him the seventh Cold Crush brother because he tells me the story about how he used to escape from his house at night to come see us perform at Harlem World when he was a young teenager. He would come to see us perform, and he loved us. And one time he escaped, he got back home, and his father was waiting for him and beat the living shit out of him. And I was like, "You kidding me?" Like, nah, man. He says, "I love y'all," and he always loved having us around. He always likes, he asked me to perform with them one time, and I mean, that's Daddy Kane is down, man. I mean, that's my brother, man. I know him for so long, man. You know.
You knew him before he had the cuts and the shit?
Yeah, I knew when he was a young kid, man.
I ain't gonna lie, my
When he
eyebrows
was,
is thick.
I met him when he was signed to Cold Chillin'.
Yeah.
You know, when he was a
I
young
was cutting
officer.
my
Cold
shit.
Chillin'.
I was cutting my shit, yeah. I was cutting my shit. Go ahead, E.
DJ Clue or Funk Flex?
Flex, because I never met Clue.
Okay.
I worked with, me and Flex were DJing together at WBLS.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
the
about-
next one's gonna be
almost
even
a year.
easier.
And I love Clue, that's my brother. But DJ, Funkmaster Flex is the greatest radio DJ of all time. I gotta
And
say
he
that.
reminds you of that, too.
And I'm not dropping the record. I don't need him to spin. That's not what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this because this is the real. I sincerely enjoy listening to Funkmaster Flex on the radio. I sincerely enjoy it.
Shout out to Clue and Flex, man.
And Clue's my brother. That's my brother.
On the mixtape tip, I come from the mixtape world.
Yeah.
What Clue did was revolutionize
Clue is fucking
mixtape.
legendary.
Yeah.
Come on, we know that.
Yeah.
He helped make my career. Fuck that. Clue, thank you too.
WBLS or Kiss FM?
BLS, because I worked at BLS.
Yeah, I know,
and
that was
I
gonna be
actually
too easy.
I got to meet Frankie Crocker.
Frankie
Oh,
Crocker.
wow.
Frankie Crocker. As a matter of fact, when I started DJing at WBLS, Gonna Make You Sweat, Everybody Dance Now,
Yeah.
came out. I had the first copy. I played it on the air. Nobody heard it. And the freaking red phone went off. Frankie Crocker put me on. The Lady B was on the air. She was the air personality inside from Philly. She said, yo, Frankie wants to talk to you. He says, yo, what is that record? Who is that record? And I told him, this is, and he says, yo, we got to add this. So, you know, I got it. I was with BLS. You know, I met Frankie. Frankie Crocker's a legend, bro.
Yeah.
Legend.
The
Super
total
legend.
black
Yeah.
experience and sound. That's what I
Super
grew up
legend.
with, man.
Super legend.
All right. DJ Premier or Pete Rock?
Take a shot.
I'm going to have to on that one, bro. You know why? 'Cause
Finally, we finally got you.
I don't have, do I have a shot?
That's your shot right
I
there.
know
That was
Jamie's
a
on
shot.
point.
Okay, I got it.
I know Jamie's on point.
So,
Cheers.
Oh, wait, what? Goddamn, Jesus.
cheers.
Oh,
Premier?
the new Mama Juana.
I met Premier through Guru.
Wow.
Rest
Guru
in
and I
peace,
were
Guru,
friends.
man.
Guru, rest in peace, Guru.
Great dude,
Guru
man.
and I
Love
were
Guru.
friends. And we were cool and we would hang out. I brought him to a couple of Cold Crush recording sessions.
Wow.
Wow.
He came and hung out with us. That's how I met Premier. Premier, I met him. Listen, man. The thing about me and hip hop and the Cold Crush to include, you got to include them. I have been to countries where I have never been to in my life, and as soon as I get off the plane, I have friends.
Right.
It's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And and that has always been with the hip hop community. Like all these guys, they always tell us, man, if it wasn't for you guys have inspired us. I get that from everybody. You throw a name at me, and they've probably said that to me.
Right.
Premier was that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask-
But now, P Rock, right? That's my man. So P Rock and I have been friends for many, 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 many years and never met until last summer.
The fuck out of here.
Over a decade, he and I have been friends, talking on the phone, texting,
We got him
on
Wednesday.
social media.
Yeah, he's gonna be here. Yeah.
And we never met until last year when we did that thing for Flash.
Wow.
That's when we actually finally shook hands, embraced, talked, kind of chopped it up for a minute, and went down with that. Thank you, man.
What did you think about the Jay-Z line? I'm overcharging people for what they did to the Cold
Cold Crush.
Crush.
Well, he undercharged the Cold Crush. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't we get a check? Why didn't we get work? Listen, I didn't want any money. I wanted work. Let me produce something for you, man. It is what it is. I'm not gonna get mad, but I was happy for. Yes.
But that line is so hard.
But I was happy we were mentioned by somebody like Jay-Z.
Nah, that was
Yeah.
huge.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad.
Because when we interviewed Cass, I felt like Cass didn't. He was cool with it, but he didn't really love it.
Right.
But then when I revisited that episode and I watched it, I was like, you know what? I think he was bigging y'all up. What he was saying is, if
No, he was. I think it was a big up.
yeah, it was a
He,
super
and
big
he
up.
was using you guys as an example
As
as
an example, like-
hip hop
like-
and it was underpaid at a certain time.
He was definitely
the
bigging
labels
us up.
were taking
Yeah.
advantage, and he's gonna overcharge for what they did to hip hop back then, meaning
Right.
using you guys.
And I took it just like that. Although a lot of people try to twist it into, he needed to use a pioneer name to do this. Like,
I
don't
didn't see it that way.
I didn't see it that
and
way.
I
either.
think, and the other positive side effect is that by mentioning Cold Crush directly, any young kid that's never heard the Cold Crush and is listening to this song is
Yep.
gonna now go and do their Googles
Yep.
and learn about Cold Crush and learn about hip hop history.
Right. It was only a plus for us.
Yeah.
It was only because, we never had hit records.
Right.
You can't remember a record that was ever, because we didn't, but our show was so impressive, so off the top, over the top, and crazy that it was memorable, man. People looked at us and we want to do that,
Right.
you know?
Yo MTV Raps or Video Music Box?
Video music box.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Of course, that's how
Ralph
I grew up.
McDaniels, wherever you
That's
at,
the
we
man,
need you,
of
bro.
course,
Yeah, Ralph.
absolutely.
We need you,
Uncle
Ralph.
Of course, man.
Uncle Ralph. KRS-One or Rakim? Take a shot.
Don't lead the witness.
I can't lead the witness. I'm sorry. Excuse me. KRS-One or Rakim?
I love Rakim. I love them both, so that's a hard one. Yeah,
All right,
to
so
answer.
take a shot.
But I love them.
Hey, relax.
But you from the Bronx, so you're gonna.
No.
You can be
That's
Bronx
a hard one
racist.
for me because I love Rakim's style. I met him. We immediately clicked. We friends, you know. And I like the teacher because man, he come on, he'll say things that you never thought about.
The way he
and it's
articulates things is crazy.
the clarity he brings to things that you've always never thought about is incredible. So yeah, it's hard, man. So you know, I can't.
You taking a shot?
Yeah.
Okay. Salud. By the way,
I need a shot. I need a shot.
Jamie got you.
I spilled one by mistake.
Oh, you spilled one? Oh, okay. You trying to set yourself
She's
up.
on point. She's
all
doing her
right,
thing.
cool. But let me just tell you. Hold on. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, we're gonna wait.
All right.
Let me tell you how good KRS-One is. He hurt my childhood.
What?
The South Bronx. Why? The bridge is over. The bridge. And he's still my favorite rapper. Like, how does that even? He spilled the shot. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how does that even work? Like, he hurt me.
Because you couldn't deny how great the music
Couldn't
was.
deny how great he was.
Listen, the
So-
KRS is such a powerful performer.
Yeah.
We did
Salud.
Cheers.
Salud.
We did the show called Old School Throwdown 3,
Okay.
where the promoter was Tyrone Williams from Cold Chillin' Records.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
And
Ta-ta.
they were pitting old groups that battled in the day and newer groups and created battles, and it was the Old School Throwdown.
Don't tell me Shannon.
And KRS won.
What?
Right? That was part of the battle.
But Shan got new teeth. He out here looking good.
Yo,
That's my
He out here.
That's my man.
put a pin in it. You
I know
gotta,
Shan.
you gotta go check out Shan talking about the Drake Kendrick stuff.
No way.
It's the best.
Yo,
It's the
What?
best.
MC Shan is talking about Drake and
He's
Kendrick?
on the social media, Twitter, Grab, and he going in. Like, I mean, this is when it was all going down.
Yo.
He threw, and I was like, yes, Shan, I want to watch it. And I reposted everything.
yeah, so when we did that concert, the Old School Throwdown 3, they had us battling the Furious, and then there was Fearless Foe was battling another group or so, Shan with KRS-One and so forth, right? So KRS-One was the closer, right? Everybody did their shows. The place, it was at Madison Square Garden in the Paramount. It was called the Paramount Theater at the time. I don't know what it is now.
Right.
Whether the 6,000 seater,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
got
It's the smaller version of the
Right.
Yes, go ahead.
capacity.
Yes.
Shan did his thing, and when they announced KRS-One, and he stepped on that. All he did was just
He's
step
such a
on the
showman,
stage.
man.
I thought Madison Square Garden was going to come down like in an earthquake. The people went bananas. The shaking,
His
the
stage
clapping,
presence,
the stomping.
his
He
level
just
of
did
MC,
this,
and then he'll
they
give a
lost
speech.
their minds.
He's a ill B-boy on stage the way he
And
just commands
he didn't
it.
even say a word.
Yeah.
And he just completely almost shut the whole thing down, man. That's the power of KRS-One.
Nah,
We need
he's
KRS-One.
we need him back.
Yeah. Yes.
We need him back for sure.
NWA or Wu-Tang Clan?
Okay.
Hey, you need to stop, man.
I
You
would
need
have
to stop.
He's not leading me. He's not
I'm
leading
not
me.
feeling this, man.
He's not leading me because
sorry.
you're asking me questions that I can answer.
Yeah, but
It would have to be. It would have to be Wu-Tang, and I'll tell you why.
I love this.
I know I met the Wu-Tang before they started making records through GZA. GZA used to be the Genius when he was signed to
Cold Chillin',
Records.
right.
Tyrone Williams had asked me to edit. I used to do a lot of editing because I used to work for Sleeping Bag Records and their editing studio because I was the manager doing the editing for them up there. So Tyrone knew this and he had asked me to edit a record called Do Me by the Genius. So I edited the record. I met Genius. He was mad cool. You know, he thanked me for working on his record and stuff like that. So there was this
Did he know
place-
who you were?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So we were at this place where they used to dupe records. Dupe cassettes all around
Right.
Times Square. There was this building. I forgot what it was. It was around the corner from where Sleeping Bag and Cold Chillin' used to be, across the street right there around the corner. And I was picking up some 8x10s because we had some 8x10 Cold Crush. We had a show that night.
Right.
And Wu-Tang, the whole clique was coming out the building. They were young. They were together. All of them were there.
Do they smell like dust?
Huh? No.
I feel like they smell like angel dust.
And
So I'm saying,
I walked into
they
Jizz and I
say
said,
it.
yo,
It's
what's
them,
up?
they say it.
What's up, man? We met and he said, yo, fellas, come here. You got to meet this guy. This is Charlie Chase, Mighty Cold Crush Brothers, so-and-so. They were all like, yo. So it's got to be Wu-Tang, man.
Nah.
You know what I mean? If I met you, then yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
and absolutely both are such great. Wu-Tang is ill, man.
Absolutely.
Go to the next one, E.
Biggie or Big L?
Ugh, I didn't want to ask that.
Never met Big L.
Rest in peace to both.
Met Biggie, but this is an interesting story. I met
need to
Biggie at the Rocksteady anniversary party when they used to have it downtown in Manhattan.
Really?
Back in the 90s. Biggie wasn't known. Biggie didn't have a deal. You know who
It was
introduced
Biggie
me?
Smalls.
It was Biggie
Mr.
Smalls.
C.
KG from my group.
KG, what?
KG always had the thing of meeting everybody. He was that guy. He had a big personality. They loved the plus. He was the host at the Underground. Was it the Underground? Latin Quarter.
Latin Quarter.
That's what it was.
96th Street Latin Quarters or 50th
50th Street, right?
okay.
So he had Biggie with him. We were there. I was DJing for the Rocksteady anniversary. KG, hey, what's up, Kyo? I want to introduce you. Here's a new up and coming artist. He's got a deal, or he's looking for a deal or something. His
Right.
name is Biggie Smalls. I met him. He was a young kid.
Right.
I'm like, yo, what's up? You know, yo, man, respect and the whole shit. That was the only time I ever got to meet him.
And then he was personable. He was cool.
He was mad cool. He was
Yeah.
cool. You know, I mean,
Everybody has to be cool to you. Just so you.
everybody was cool to us. You know, and they don't have to be, but
All
they
right,
were.
now I gotta ask this question: Was there ever anybody that you met that wasn't cool to you? Because by the way, let's throw him under the bus.
No,
Right
no.
now.
There was nobody that wasn't cool with us. Now, if you're gonna go back to the early days, we were all cool, but it was competitive.
Yo,
That's all it
yeah.
was. It was competitive.
So you saying Melly Mel wasn't cool?
Billy Mel was my man. I was their
fucking with
DJ
you.
for a year.
Nah,
I was their
fucking-
DJ for almost a year.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So
Yeah?
yeah, you didn't. Okay, I posted something. You got to go on my page and look it
Absolutely.
out. So here's the story behind that.
Let's go.
78, 79. Black Door had broken up. Flash and the MCs, the Furious Four,
Right.
broke up.
Right. Which Flash talks about it when he's
Right,
here.
they
Yeah.
broke up. They didn't want to go back. I used to live in an apartment on the first floor on 180th and Arthur, where I used to sell mixtapes out the window to all the community car drivers, OJs. They all used to come knocking to buy my stuff. So
Okay,
it was
guys,
easy.
hold on, because a lot of people not gonna know what OJ's is.
Cab service.
It's a cab service,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
All right, continue.
And they always had the banging sound system. So anyway,
Yeah, right.
you could come up to my window, knock, and I would open up like, "What's up?" I met people, all kind of stuff. One day there was a knock on my window. It was Mr. Ness, who now is Scorpio.
Right.
Mr. Ness and Kid Creole. Now, I could be confused because, again, sometimes things are a blur. I'm sure it was Ness. If not, it would have been Cowboy, but I think it was Ness. And Creole. They said, yo, man, I was surprised to see them knocking on my window. You know, like, I was pre-Cold Crush. They weren't even together yet. We weren't even...
Wait, you guys weren't together yet? What?
No, we weren't together yet. This was in between 77... Cold Crush didn't come together until 79, around 79, 80.
And Flash has already left the group?
Yeah. So, let me explain
See, this
to
is
you.
where the timelines start fucking up for
No,
me.
no,
Yeah, it
no.
fucks up.
I'm not. Again, I'm an old man, but
We're
I'm
all
trying.
high.
No, I don't know. This is
Yeah.
your territory.
Knock on the window. Yo, can we come in and talk with y'all? Shop, sure, come inside. Yo, man, we ain't with Flash no more. We left Flash. We left Back Door. We ain't going back. And I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? Nah, man. You know, there was some kind of controversy with the money, you know, and all kind of stuff. They like, so we didn't want they say Flash was getting more money. They were claiming that there was a deal between him and management. I don't know. There's always some kind of stuff. Money always
hip-hop.
comes in.
Money fucks everything up. Right.
So I said, you the only other DJ besides Theodore and Flash we know that can cut like that. Would you be our DJ? Now, I had a crew already.
Right.
You know, a young crew.
What was the name of your crew?
They didn't have a name. It was just Charlie Chase.
Was it Tom and Jerry?
No,
Okay.
no.
It was just
after
your
Tom
crew.
and Jerry. It was after Tom and Jerry.
By the way, what's the name? Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
And they talk about Grand Wizard Theodore, who's what they were saying the other person was.
Right, and
Right.
Puerto was a little kid. He was a young kid.
Okay.
So they said, would you be our DJ? And I said, hell yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
So there's a tape. If you go on my page, I tell the story behind the story, and you hear me cutting up with Mel Ryman and Mel and Raheem Ryman on there, right? So I for about the next 6 months or so, we were together. We were DJing, doing what we could, popping up in parks. When I was with them, now going back to Tony Tone and I have many accomplishments together. Me and Tony, from when I see Tony Tone and I were really the first Black Puerto Rican duo to do anything, to come together. We were the ones who threw the very first ever.
That was the first drink champs.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. The Coke champ. The Coke champ. Now, Tony never did Coke.
Coke champ?
No. I wasn't ready. I'm joking because Tony never got high. Tony never does this. He was always healthy.
I'm fucking with you.
But so we threw the very first MC convention ever. One of the MCs in my crew had the idea. His name was RC. He says, "Yo, why don't we do this?" And I'm like, "Yo, that's a fucking genius idea. Let's do it."
Right.
So me and Tony, we got it together. We threw it at the Webster 183rd PAL up in the Bronx. That was the first convention ever. So that day, the Furious 4 was supposed, no, actually it was the Furious 5, because now during the breakup was when Raheem left the Funky 4 and came into the Furious 5, thus changing the name from the 4 to the Furious 5. So now they're the Furious 5. They were supposed to host.
This can get very confusing. Furious 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. So they were supposed to host the battle, and it was, capacity. A lot of people showed up for this thing. And the Casanovas showed up, and they had a talk with them and told them, yo, y'all got to come back. And they were like, yo, we going back. And they went back, and I wasn't mad about it. And then like a few months later or so, 79, 80, something like that, was then when we formed the Cold Crystal.
So you did a couple gigs with them, or were you DJing?
Like for almost 8 months or so, we never did any paid gigs, but we were always jamming.
Right.
Right? Because I guess, remember at the time, they had brought in Raheem. I guess they were still trying to get acclimated, get situated and stuff. They weren't doing shows like they were doing afterward. Like when they got back together was when they started doing the bigger shows. Back then, we were just jamming. They weren't really doing anything big except for high schools and stuff like that. You understand?
Yeah.
So we would jam out, go in the parks. Like when you hear the tape, that was in Forest Projects up in the Bronx. That's the only recorded.
That's crazy. That's not widely known, though.
No, it's not. But the tape is the proof. You'll hear Melly Mel saying my name. I'm cutting "To Be Real" by Lynn, Cheryl Lynn. I'm cutting that. And that happened.
Man, that adds to your legend, bro.
Yeah, man. So that you have to be Furious 5.
That's dope. Okay.
God damn it. Go ahead. Hit the next one.
Let's see where we at here. Scarface or Ice Cube?
I like Ice Cube. I'll have to say Ice Cube. You know why? He reminds me so much of the Cold Crush with their hardness,
really?
I don't give a fuckness. And, it's like, we doing what we doing and fuck y'all, and that was what the Cold Crush was all about. So I would have to say Ice Cube.
All right, Beat Nuts or Cypress Hill?
Beat Nuts, man. I love Cypress Hill, but those Beat Nuts are my boys, man.
Right.
Those are my boys, bro.
Shout out to Psycho Les, who's rocking with Be Real right now.
They performed up at the Hard Rock in Tampa about a couple of months ago. We were hanging out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Big Pun or Cool G Rap?
Oh, that's a hard.
That's gonna be a tough one. Like, relax, man.
I want to take a shot because I don't.
So just take your shot, but don't lead the witness.
I don't want to pick that.
Okay. You said Cool G Rap and who now?
Big Pun.
Big Pun.
Big Pun.
I'm not gonna pick between those two. I got to pick a shot.
Yeah,
those I got love for both of them, man. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, hold on. You just give an empty shot. They ain't look here. Come on.
No, he got.
No, I got it.
I'm watching you, Charlie.
Damn, even drunk he can see that.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Ay, Dios mío. Come on, you guys. You guys are assholes for these.
Well, to the average, to the person,
Fat Joe or Pitbull?
I'm definitely not answering that.
Fat Joe. I don't know Pitbull.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
gonna-
These guys, come on.
We could have had Pitbull come here
Yo, Pitbull would have came here.
Pitbull would've
and he would have showed a lot of
by
love.
himself. Super rich and super Latino.
Yeah. I'm not
He-
taking anything away from Pitbull. I mean, listen, he's made a lot of accomplishments, bro.
No.
He's in his own way, in his own right, man. He's done a lot
And I've
of
seen
things,
him from his
man.
early humble beginnings.
Yeah, and I've seen
he's
the way
definitely
I've
grinding.
seen the way he started and where he ended up now.
Yeah.
He's international. He does. He's
he
on
grinded.
TV. He's got he's
You know what I
made
like about
major
Pitbull?
moves, man.
He literally didn't let the game change him.
No, he's the
He
same
literally
person.
didn't like. I mean, even me, I let the game change me. At one point, I got fucked up. You know what I mean? It happened. You know, and then I came back to reality. But
What do you describe? What is a change? What changes?
you think you
Like, give an example of that.
You're not realizing that this game does not belong to you. It's the world's game. And at one point, when you platinum, you think that
It's always
this is
going to be
all about you,
Right.
And it's actually not. You're the fucking flavor of the month.
Remember this,
Right.
bro. Nobody's bigger than hip hop.
Nobody's bigger than hip hop.
Nobody's bigger than hip hop.
But that's the problem. The artists think they're bigger
No.
than hip-hop.
That is the problem.
That's the problem.
But what's the solution is when you find that out.
Right.
The solution is you find it out and you say, you know what? Because it just happens, like, you know, being in front of the public's eye sometimes, you don't realize that you're the 7th guy or the 100th guy, and there's going to be 100 guys after you that is going to put in that same position. And that shit is heartbreaking. Like I always say, it's hard to be the man on Monday and not wake up and be the man on Wednesday.
But that wouldn't be a hip hop problem. That would be a celebrity problem. That would be a fame problem.
I can't actually pinpoint any other problem.
Right,
I can
right.
pinpoint hip hop. I could see when I met a young MC, and if I could see it, I know you can see it. And they're so humble.
Yeah, they're just happy to
And
be
then
there.
next year, they won't even walk over and say hi to you.
No.
They won't even give you a fucking 5 because they're the guy at that moment. And what they don't understand is we've been the guy for 30 years ago,
Right.
20 years ago. Well, so every fucking party that you've been to, I've kind of been there already.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that you kind of did. Like, you're my OG, but I be looking at these young boys.
You're
young,
jaded. You're a bit jaded.
Yeah. These young whippersnappers, and they like, dude, what did you just say to me? What did you just say to me? Like, I was platinum in 1998. You platinum or trying to go platinum in 2024. I've had my party. And by the way, it was awesome.
But listen,
Fantastic.
those
I'm sorry.
are no, my bad to cut you too though.
No,
but
no.
those are the accolades I think that have gone wrong for hip hop because in late 80s, early 90s, I can only speak for my generational perception, right? Or point of view, better said.
Yep.
The artists I was listening to, they were paying homage to the founders and the pioneers. Therefore, the listener and us coming up were like, these are our heroes.
Yep.
I didn't grow up on Cold Crush necessarily. I didn't grow up on Grandmaster Flash. But I felt like I did because the artists that I grew up to were saying, this is why we're here. Therefore, this is why you're here listening to us and being a part of this culture. So this is why we're here.
Right.
And so it made me dig in the crates, so to say. And so to me, the accolades of selling platinum or gold didn't matter. It was who impacted the culture more and who are the forefathers and the foundational
right.
people. That weighs way more than how many records you sold. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely right.
Like a Crazy Legs who doesn't sell any records was way more of a bigger figure in hip hop than this artist that went platinum in a sense.
Absolutely.
And that's where I think where we lost our way.
No,
because we don't do that anymore. We don't paint
started-
that picture.
We started to equivalate success with accolades, like how you just said. Like you just said, you man, we didn't have hit records, but we had hits.
Hits stage shows.
You tear that stage show up. So when we started to like look at it and say, all right, this is this is that, because let's just be clear, Nas' first album, Illmatic, was not received.
Yeah, no.
Like, people are lying when they say, oh shit, Illmatic was a classic.
Sales-wise, it wasn't.
Sales-wise,
but culturally, that's the thing. Culturally, what it did was phenomenal.
Now,
It
my
changed
first
the game.
album, War Report. I can't stand you motherfuckers telling me I had a classic, legendary first
Why?
album. You motherfuckers did not go to the store. My shit did not sell.
But you're right, because the audience was
They
either
lied
broke.
to you.
No, the audience was broke.
That's
The
it.
culture was broke. They had to bootleg your shit.
You gonna help them?
Yes.
But that's probably true. It can be true.
Like the mixtape, because I'm a mixtape DJ that was
Right.
putting your songs on my mixtape.
Right.
I hate to tell you this now, but you didn't make a dime off of me putting it on my mixtape.
This is what I'm saying.
but somehow we got here.
Yes.
You know
So
what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, that shit hurt me. Like, when people say it now, they be like, yo, the War Report got me through some shit. I be looking at you like, you bootleg my shit. you ain't buy my album. I'm sorry. I made it personal. I'm sorry. Let me get the fuck out.
You know what? Wild Style falls under that category. Wild Style, it was $100,000 budget movie.
Wow.
But that movie was, everybody tries to say Russell didn't. I'm not taking nothing away from Russell, anything
Right.
from Russell. But Wild Style was the movie that showed everybody how this was done, because everybody that was in the movie that acted actually did what they did in real life. Even the stick-up kid in the movie was a real stick-up kid
Yeah,
from the Bronx.
I'm gonna have to stand up and tell you, Charlie Chase, you guys didn't act very well. It was a documentary.
Suck.
You guys were. It was a documentary. I looked at it. I said, I don't think they're really acting. I think this is just a documentary.
But that was acting.
Do you know how awkward it was to stand up against Theodore like this and say, Charlie Chase, as cute as can be. Come on, man. Yeah, it was funny.
It was a classic, but you guys did not act.
But it was a cult hit, and that movie
Absolutely.
took us all over the world. And that was the movie that introduced hip hop to the entire planet.
Right.
Because when the Wild Style first hit, that we were on it, and the first stop we made was Japan, dude. It was like a nuclear explosion. We were there a week. Everybody saw what was going on the first week. By the time we left, there were already people out there dressing and guys trying to break dance and all kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Listen, let me show you the power of hip
Let's
hop.
go. Let's show us.
Let me explain a story.
Yeah.
Wild Style tour. Never been there. First time we were all touring, right? We needed translators to walk around with. So I'm walking on with this translator, and there's this Japanese kid with a boombox. And he recognized me, I guess, because we were doing a lot of TV and a lot of press and stuff. So he recognized me, and he runs up and he's talking Japanese. I don't understand it, but the translator's telling me, oh, he knows who you are. He says he loves the Cold Crush. And I'm like, how do you know about the Cold Crush? And he says, and he told the guy, he says, he hits play on it. He had a boombox. He hits play, and he's playing a Cold Crush tape. What fucked my head up was that this guy didn't speak a lick of English, but he's reciting all the Cold Crush lyrics to me in English. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was the power of hip hop. That was the power of Wild Style.
It's a fucking N.O.R.E.
You know what I'm saying? That movie is it was all what you said, but yo, it was.
Nah,
one of a
we're
kind.
gonna. I want to circle back to Wild Style
Yeah.
when we finish Quick Time. Kid Frost or Mellow Man Ace?
This is Latino
Met 'em
racism.
both.
I just wanted to let you know that. It's Latino racism right here.
Why is it Latino racism?
I just feel like it's
You trying to
Latino
cause a
racism.
division, man?
Yeah, you're causing division, man. Just take a shot.
Met both of them, man, cool. So and they both had their successes.
And both of them want to come together to drink champs. FY, I'm saying it right here on the
I
show.
didn't know that.
Both want to come together. Kid Frost and Mellow Man Ace.
I would like that.
On
I would
Drink
like that
Champs,
very
yeah.
much.
Yeah, I'd have to take a shot for that because I like
Okay,
them both.
okay.
They're both my boys, man.
Goddamn.
All right?
Salud.
Okay.
Salud.
Okay.
Salud.
Salud.
My God.
This is some reggaeton shit.
You got it?
Okay.
I gotta do it.
You got to do it, man.
You hate reggaeton.
Come on.
I don't hate it now.
This is N.O.R.E. He gotta have something in his,
Yeah, I definitely
in
don't
his reggaeton pocket.
Dago's the man.
Yeah.
So
Dago or Don Omar?
Don Omar's the man, too.
Damn, I love Don Omar, but I met Tego. Down to earth brother. I met him at Lehman High School in the Bronx. Sal
I
Abatello.
was there.
When Tego was there?
I think so. I met me and Dago squashed our beef at Lehman High School.
Oh, he wasn't performing. He wasn't performing.
I don't know.
It was his. It was
Kevin Lyles there? Was it a Def Jam thing?
Def Jam was there. Yes.
Yes.
Also,
Run DMC was there.
we were
Run
there.
DMC was there.
That was the same place. Okay,
One of them was there. I met Dago there.
Sorry.
We got to chop it up for a minute. We spoke. Man, cool dude, man. You know, he didn't know who I was, but you know, he was so.
He doesn't know who
like,
he is sometimes.
He didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there trying to explain it to him. I told him, you know, I'm so and so from a group and everything. He didn't know me. I was cool with it. I'm like, yo, I like your music. I appreciate you, man,
Right.
and all that. And he was like, he wasn't like so stuck up on it. He was mad cool. You know what I'm saying? I never met Don Omar, but I like Don Omar's music.
ill.
So I would have to go with Don Omar because.
Oh, damn! You just did this whole take.
You just made us take a shot for no reason?
No, we didn't take a shot.
we didn't take a shot. We didn't take a shot.
I took a shot, motherfucker.
Yo, Pobre de
No, we did.
Diabla,
We took
bro.
a shot for the other
I
one.
took a shot.
Kid Frost and Metal
Okay,
Man.
okay. Kid Frost.
Pobre de Diabla. That's
Yeah.
the yo.
Pobre
Listen to the
Diabla.
lyrics of that
Don
record, bro.
Omar's ill. But let me ask you, Tego Calderon, I feel like he's more of an MC than a reggaeton artist.
I do too. I think he's more of a hip hop artist. I believe that he's a victim of his circumstances, meaning like he had to do certain things.
Because that's the other thing. When I went to Puerto Rico in 2000, right? Before what he did and everything came over. And a lot of those reggaeton artists were regular
Latin
Spanish
rappers.
MCs
So that's what they were.
that couldn't really make inroads
But look when
in
they
hip
started.
hop.
Look what they when they started.
What's your man name? The producer? Echo.
Echo's the man. Yeah.
Look when they started. I mean, those were the influences. It was MCing.
Yeah.
You know, then it evolved into what
Like these guys were
Omar
on Tony
was
Touch
doing.
mixtapes,
Right.
you know, and all that.
That's a question I want to ask you, and I know we still at
Tony Touch.
line.
Oh, no, it's not a
Let me
okay,
ask
okay.
you. At what point did it become the MC? Because the DJ was the motherfucking man, right?
Still the motherfucking man.
All right, but I knew he was going to ask that, and rightfully so. We love y'all. We love y'all as an MC. But when did it become MC coming to the forefront? Because it was DJing.
Okay.
No one wanted to be an MC at
And
one
that's absolutely accurate. It was
Okay.
all about the DJ. What made it the MC was when MCs started evolving from just making announcements and just throwing little nursery rhymes here and there
To promote the DJ.
To promote the DJ.
Was it DJ Hollywood?
Not well. When I was Hollywood, from what I understand, he was already DJing when I started.
Okay.
You know, but I wasn't around those parties or didn't go to those parties.
Okay.
But the MC evolved into something more. Kaz, and I'm gonna go back to Kaz. Kaz was one of the instrumental people who was so gifted that he was telling. They call Slick Rick the storyteller, and Kaz is the original storyteller.
Yes.
You listen. I know about rhymes that you ain't never heard that Kaz has said when he was a kid. And Kaz is his mind is he's a genius, bro.
Yep.
Kaz had started helping. I wouldn't say he's the first one, but I witnessed with my own eyes that evolution when I started seeing people like Kaz get on the mic and started grabbing people's attention with his art, with his skill. You know, and the skill was what catapulted the MC in front of the DJ. You know, because remember, it was just starting with the DJ. It was all mechanical with the bullshit equipment that we had. We were doing what we were doing, and we were making a great job of it.
Fisher Price equipment?
It was close to it, you know. But
It was hand-me-down stereo equipment.
it was belt drive turntable.
Right, terrible.
Belt drive.
Wow.
If you were able to cut on belt drives, you were a good DJ.
those was my first turntables.
Like you know what belt drive is.
So that was when it happened. You know, the DJ needed I was shy. I was never a microphone person, so I needed a mouthpiece.
Right.
You know, and you know, my first MC was Cisco Kid from Beach Street, and so you know, that was what started it. I needed a mouthpiece. Every DJ needed a mouthpiece, and then when they were seeing other DJs bring their skill up, then that's when it started evolving, and then they came to the forefront now because people wanted to hear what they wanted to say. You know.
Yeah, and remember, DJ is the backbone because without the DJ starting the party, you don't get an MC, you don't get B-boys and B-girls dancing on the dance floor.
Right.
DJs were the ones that perpetuated the beginning of
Then
everything.
the MCs came and so he was wearing spikes and it was like, yeah.
Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged.
Shout out to Big Dre, who was my MC, my first MC.
Rain was a artist?
No, when I was DJing, he was the guy on the microphone in the beginning. Him and Weird Thoughts, Paul.
I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting your original name was Weird Thoughts, and then every time we do Underdog Fantasy, I will remember that he is Weird Thoughts. Illmatic or Reasonable Doubt?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not familiar with any of them too much.
Illmatic is Nas' first album, and Reasonable Doubt is Jay-Z's first album.
You want me to be honest with you? I haven't heard.
So
the
he's
album
saying
complete.
neither. We're drinking.
Yeah, we're drinking. We drinking. I want to hear.
He's saying nada.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You know.
Thank you, James. You on one.
Dale
que tú puedas.
Okay.
Just for the record, I answered a lot of these questions. Man.
You did, and we're almost done. And
we almost done.
Maybe you don't drink.
Damn,
King of New York.
What do you do? Is like sit all week and come up with these questions?
Yeah,
They literally
King
fucked
of New
these out
York
right before
or
you
New
get
Jack
here.
City.
New Jack City. King of New York was with Denzel? No, it wasn't.
No.
I'm thinking
Denzel,
American
you out.
Gangster. That's what I'm thinking of.
What's on the name?
New Jack City.
Okay.
New
Christopher
Jack
Walken.
City.
Right, Walker.
Right.
All right, I gotta do this one.
Go ahead.
The Fever or Latin Quarters?
Fever, brother. I grew up in the Fever, man. That's what we everybody.
I like how your face just lit up.
And I feel like there was cocaine there for sure.
Did you see his face
The
just now?
Fever-
I was literally in the Fever with you right now.
The
when you said
Fever
it.
was the place to go to. Think about this. Picture this.
A lot of cocaine?
A lot of cocaine.
Definitely a lot of cocaine. But we gotta tell everybody, cocaine wasn't crazy back then.
No, cocaine was a hell of a drug back then.
It was like
a
an energy
fashion
drink.
It was a fashion
Right.
drug. If you had cocaine, you had status. An energy drink.
You just called it that.
I just caught that.
I've never heard this reference before.
But it wasn't even illegal yet.
I'm sorry. Continue. That was great.
I forgot the question. What was it?
No,
The fever.
The Fever.
Sorry.
The Fever, picture this. The Fever, you got Run DMC,
Right.
Houdini, Cold Crush, Treacherous 3, Furious 5, Curtis Blow, sometimes Russell Simmons. After they did what we did at the night, at the end of the night, I didn't go as often as Kaz and JDL did, but everybody would go there. That's where everybody would go and meet and drink and talk about
That was the after
war
party for
stories of
everything,
the night or whatever. The Fever was the place to meet girls and hang out, and that was the atmosphere. You know how many celebrities? A quick story. Ronald Isley was at the Fever one day, right? I'm up against the wall. If you know anything about the Fever, as soon as you walk in, there was a photo booth right there in the front, right?
Okay.
So I was up against the wall there, just chilling, and I go like this, and I'm like, there's a cat with a baseball hat like this, covering his eyes, right? Just like this, you can't see he's covering his eyes. But you, Ronald Isley got that face you cannot mistake it. I say, Ronald? And he looked up and goes, shh. I said, stop that, brother. This is the Fever. Everybody here is a celebrity. Stop that.
Leave it alone.
But he was telling me to be because of,
Man, you told
everybody
him to
here is a
relax.
celebrity. Yeah. I said, chill, everybody is a celebrity. They're not going to be on you like that, And he was like, he wasn't having it, but true story. We used to have celebrities like that came to the Fever, bro.
Yes. And the Fever turned into Roombas.
You're talking about in Tremont Avenue.
Yeah.
The original Fever was on 167
Just the
in
old school
Jerome.
Fever.
He just
Killed
my childhood.
Come on, bro.
Listen, I know Sal when he
You're too young for
had
this.
I know Sal Abatalo when he had a DA.
Whoa.
He was an Italian with a DA, bro,
Whoa.
with the open shirt and the necklace and all that. Right?
Fucked up
Yo,
my childhood. Just I did not know that. I did not know.
Junebug was the DJ.
Wow.
What was that? Oh, I forgot the other guy's name. There's some dope DJs there.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah,
Fat Boys or the Beastie Boys?
Beastie Boys.
Okay.
I like the Beastie Boys. You know why? Because I'm a rock head. I love rock music. And when they came out and they were doing what they were doing, I ate it like Fruit Loops, bro. I just ate the whole thing up, man.
No sleep.
Yeah.
To Brooklyn.
And when I met them, they went crazy. They went crazy.
And wasn't there a synergy? And Kaz, we talked about with Kaz with Flash, with rock and hip hop at the time, because they were both these counterculture
Punk rock.
right? Punk rock specifically with CBGBs,
punk
right?
rock.
CBGBs, there was a Danceteria downtown
Right.
also, yeah.
Holy shit. And this is our last one for Quick Time with Slime. Did we get the director interview? Loyalty or respect?
Respect.
Coño.
Respect.
The way he looked at you and said,
Because I've met people that I've never met in my life, but have showed me more respect than a lot of motherfuckers who were loyal to me.
Wow.
Because what happens sometimes, and I've experienced this, people are loyal to you, and they after a while they become too familiar with you, and they can be disrespectful, and then I got to cut you off. Respect people. I've met people I've met people I've never seen in my life, and they show me instant respect for what I've done. They're kind, respectful. You know, they give me. It would have to be respect first. You ain't gotta like me, but you're gonna respect me.
Right.
Jesus. That was so great. I'm going to the bathroom. You always take a bathroom break, guys.
Army, download it now. Use the code DRINKCHAMPS. First time subscribers get 50% off, $250 off the $500 deposit. Make sure you get the special pick'ems and fuck with us because we doing it. Underdog Fantasy. Hey!
Right here, brother. This is you.
Oh, you gave it to him first?
First time
Rican shit.
Hey, man. Let me show it to you first.
Thank you so much, my brother. Please, yeah, please, bro.
Thank you, man.
Who wanted the 2X? Here you go. All right.
Oh,
I didn't bring a whole lot. I didn't bring a whole lot, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we rolling.
Yeah, we rolling.
Thank you so much.
Right?
How's laws? That's right. God damn it.
Let me see.
I'm wearing this Wednesday with Common Sense and Pete Rock.
Hey, I was gonna wear it. Don't take my style. Right?
Don't.
Let's both wear it.
You don't want to be kid and play for one time?
Let's do it.
One time?
Let's do it.
One time.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. One time.
Wait, what size you wear?
Nah, no, that's not the way we roll.
I don't have 2X here. What is it? I got a 2X. I only got
Listen, guys, this is not a
it's
not a fitting session, guys.
Charlie Chase. Listen, Charlie Chase, your shirts are exclusive. You don't got to give it to everybody. You could save some.
Yeah, you're diluting the brand right now.
Some of these guys are not worthy.
I only got XL left. That's all I got. Yeah, you take.
Yeah. Go to the gym.
Sean.
Did he just tell sports to go to the gym?
Sit it down.
That's my.
You gave it to your own friend. Hold on.
That's my nephew. That's my nephew. That's my nephew.
Nephew, give us this goddamn shirt. Give it to the twin. Give it to the twin right there. The twin right there. No, he can't fit that. He can't fit that. Give it to the twin.
That's why he lives in Miami.
Yeah, he lives in Miami.
But you got his number.
I got you.
You got his number. Come on.
Yo, that's my nephew right there.
Yes.
He's a motivational speaker. Has been on shows with Grant Cardone. Yo,
that's my friend.
Yo, what's up, dog?
Him right there, bro. That's the man right here, man. Sean McMurray.
Let's take a shot for him.
Let's take a shot at Sean's name.
Oh, fuck.
You got a shot right there.
Got it.
All right.
Yo,
hip hop guys.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. I know I said it earlier, but I want to say it again. I want to thank you as a man, as a person who has a career in hip hop. In a lot of ways, when I researched you and I went into depth, and they label you as the first Puerto Rican in hip hop. And that shit is so honorable because I always fight to say that Latinos was there in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm black too.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like they kind of try to erase that part of history. Not like it's like a bunch of black people go around. Ugh. That's not that. But what I'm trying to say is,
it's become a thing.
It's become a thing.
Yeah.
It has become a thing.
Well, can I add a little bit of clarity to that? Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever they say I'm the first Puerto Rican in hip hop, I understand why they say credited,
Okay.
right? There were other Puerto Ricans before me. You know, Kaz's partner, Disco Wiz, unfortunately, you know, he got sidetracked. He had to end his career early. He was there. He was Kaz's partner, but he was there before I was.
Oh, wow.
You know, with Kaz when he first started.
Wow.
Now, they credit me with being the first Puerto Rican DJ because I was the one who was blessed enough to have enough talent that just shot out in front of everybody.
Right.
You understand?
You were one of the first more well-known.
who took
Right.
what I did and represented our people worldwide.
Right.
You understand? I'm the first in that aspect.
And as a DJ, which at that time would have catapulted
And there were
you.
a few other DJs. They were like young from the neighborhood, like me, you know, and they were Hispanic too, but they just never got out of. They didn't either, for whatever reason it was, they didn't get out in the forefront like I did. But yeah, I'll take credit in that aspect. But me to be here and say that I'm the actual first, nah, I can't say that.
Right? No,
I can't.
no.
I got to give the credit where the credit's due.
Right.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Make some noise for that, guy. I know this is a cliche type of question. And I know it's going to make sense, but it might not make sense. Did you ever think that hip hop would make it this far?
Yes or no?
I would like to hear you.
At the very beginning, when we were doing it, and I knew something was there, but I didn't know what it was, except that I was just beating a lot of chicks. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. You know what was the turning point when I knew? Because remember, I come from a family of musicians. When Rappers Delight dropped, I said, this is where it's going. This is where it's going. I knew that it was going to be big because now it's on a record for the masses to hear. That's when I knew it was going to be big because I knew, listen, you had to be where I was in the neighborhoods, the way people were inspired. People were showing up by the hundreds at freaking schoolyards.
Right.
Till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Us playing 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning out there. And they were hanging out with us. We were the superstars in the ghetto. Everywhere we walked, man, you know, we were the stars. I couldn't go to Fordham Road without people knowing who I was. You understand? Until when Rappers Delight hit, that opened the door for Grandmaster Flash and them and Kumo D and them, and even opened up the doors for us in a sense, and everybody else that followed. So yeah, I didn't know at first because I didn't see what was going on. I never thought about records, but when the record dropped,
And what year was that that record
Rappers
drop?
Delight came out in '79.
Okay.
So let me just ask, I know this is what's that shit called? A question that you know the answer to?
Rhetorical?
Rhetorical. You don't think hip hop invented in Queens a little bit?
Oh, Queens gets massive credit. Are you kidding me, bro? Hell yeah, man.
I don't think you heard his question though.
What did I miss? Oh, yeah.
No,
He
because
said, "Do you not think that it got invented in Queens a little bit?"
Invented?
not invented.
Okay, yeah, that's
That part, yeah, that's the part you ain't. That's why he
Yeah.
But I always credit Shan because Shan says hip hop started out. You know what I mean?
right.
He was saying what he saw in his neighborhood. He never. I don't think he ever said that it was.
But did he mean Queensbridge Park, or did he mean he's just saying it started out in the
That's
park?
for him.
I don't know how much we talked about that.
Well, maybe
remember.
you might be looking into it a little bit too deep because hip hop did start in the parks.
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying.
Damn,
no,
you're right.
that's I'm exactly pinpointing
It could
that.
be any park.
He could have just been exclaiming it started out in the park. We all know it started out in the park.
But here's what I'm trying to say to you, E. Let's suppose the first time you ever heard of hip hop, it was in Kendall, Sugarwood Park, right?
Right.
That's a real place, right?
Yeah. That's a big.
killed that? Did I
That's a
kill
big
that?
part of
Right.
CHP history.
Yeah. So you in Sugarwood? Yeah. All right, Jesus, y'all calm down.
Sugarwood?
Y'all calm down.
What up,
So
my
let's
Sugarwood?
suppose the first time you ever heard of, let's not say hip hop, Ace of Spade, right? The first time you ever heard of it was in Sugarwood Park. To you, that's what you think it is. So I'm asking you, is it a possibility just that you think MC Shan thought that hip hop really did invent in Queens?
I don't think he thought that.
I don't think so.
Because it's too far along when he came into the game for him to think that.
But I don't
Okay.
think when he said that he meant that it was started.
No,
that they
I don't
had
think so.
anything to do.
'Cause what-
I mean, it's a fact. It did start out in the park. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
But I think it may have been a little bit embroiled with the whole Shantae battle. That
Right.
you know that might have had something to do with what. Remember, it was very competitive. You know, so if you're gonna talk shit, I'm gonna talk shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I know Shan. I know Shan
Right.
personally. You know, we're friends.
We love Shan.
Yo, he's crazy.
gotta follow him
He's
on
crazy.
Instagram. It's crazy.
Yeah. We produced some records together.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because one thing I'm learning as as we get older in this, right? Or anybody as the culture gets older, we tend to compact the history, right? And Shan, he came out in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yes.
80s.
And look how much, when he's talking about that he starts in 75, but how much happens from 75 to 79 that he's talked about that is game changing.
True.
We're never gonna consider that as, you know what I'm saying?
True.
So that's why I think Shan knew what he was saying.
True. But I like that they squashed it.
Yeah. You grow up, man. You know, I mean, listen, us and the Fantastic, yeah, you know anything about the battle?
Did y'all ever throw down? Like throw down?
Nah. It never got to that point.
I feel like you was a stabber.
Like I was saying somebody.
That's the stereotype.
I feel like you
Puerto Rican
a stabber. I feel like you stabbed somebody.
It's only a stereotype. I never walked around with a knife.
You never had a shank on you?
No.
it looked like
It might
you
be
had a
different,
shank.
but not a knife. Come on. No. But seriously, Shan, he's a creative mind, but like what you were saying, you ever hear him on he's crazy, but he speaks a lot of truth.
He's
you
ill.
may think he's an
dope.
old guy off his rocker, but he's not.
He's not.
He
I
knows
watch
exactly what he's saying.
Is what confuses you, but
I
he's
watch
saying some real
Shan
shit.
all day.
Nah, he said some real
MC
shit.
Shan
I'm like, Shan,
all
put your
day.
teeth back in so we can hear exactly what you're saying.
I was on the floor in tears crying when he got his new set of teeth.
Yeah.
I was just like on the floor.
I love it.
Nah, Shan is on point, man.
Yeah.
He's on point.
Yeah. He's a deep thinker in a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The thing with him is like, man, fuck y'all. This is what it is. And you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Whatever. You know, that's his attitude and
love
shit.
it.
Yeah.
He's steadfast.
Have you ever been at one point for me, I just lost my love for hip hop, right? It was just I'm lying. I didn't lose my love. I lost what everyone was chasing. Everyone started to chase a certain dream that wasn't it. Like for me, you had to be nice, you had to be good at your craft, and that's what it is. And now it's just about sometimes chasing money. Don't get it twisted. I like some money.
Right, of course.
But then I also like my craft.
Right.
Has there ever been a time where you felt like fuck hip hop?
Sometimes I feel like that now. I'll be honest with you because I love hip hop. Hip hop is my life. I mean, I'm one of I helped create.
You're foundational. Absolutely.
You know, I'm part of the evolution.
Right.
You know, so it's really deep to me, and I see what you're saying. They don't take it as an art anymore. Now it's just a way to get a bag.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you lose a lot when that's all that's on your mind. That's all you are. So I compare these people to like the Olympics. You got your marathon runners and you got your sprinters. Marathon runners continue for decades and decades and decades. Then you got these guys that are just sprinters. They might last a year, 2, maybe 3, and then their career is gone. That's how that is with these guys. You understand what I'm saying? So listen, think about this for a second. There hasn't been a #1 charting record on Billboard for almost 2 years now.
Until right now, with the Kendrick stuff.
Okay, so look how long it took.
Based on negativity too.
Right. That's crazy. That's truth, and it's crazy. But think about that for a second. Hip hop was always commanding on the #1 spot, and all of a sudden, it's not. What changed? I think it was that people weren't respecting the art anymore. Now it's just a way to make money. Now, Chuck D and I had a conversation one day about this.
Nice floss.
And we came up to the conclusion, and it was this. There was a time when my time and a few other people's time, like your time, you had interest in something, you studied it, you started practicing, you became brave enough to take it out to the public, to your family, to your friends. After that, you were brave enough to take it to the public. You did what you did, and then you were brave enough to take it to a record and do what you did. Now, you make a record and then you go back to trying to be an MC. That's crazy. It sounds crazy, but it's a fact. You know, and that's where we're at right now, and it kills me because it's like I don't even want to produce hip hop records anymore. Now I'm looking more to doing stuff with movies and stuff like that. I'm actually right now producing a remake of Aguanila for Annalise Grace. She's a Grammy-nominated Latin Grammy-nominated artist. She's got an album coming out, and now I'm doing a remix for her for Aguanile, which is coming out right before the Puerto Rican Day Parade. You know, so I'm getting more into. I've always liked different kinds of music anyway, so it's natural for me to just switch up and do what I got to do.
Right.
Hey, I produced Latin freestyle. I had Trilogy, a group that was a hit for years. I wrote that. Latin Love You Make Me Out. I wrote that with seeing all the guy who wrote the lyrics.
Right.
I wrote all the music. Amaretto, Clave Rocks. That was another big record. I was the producer. I didn't get producer credit on it. They only gave me mixing credit. But truth be told, I'm the reason why that record even exists. So it wasn't a problem for me to always switch gears and go another direction. But you're right, man. But you're right what you're saying.
What?
That, you know, hip hop right now, you feel a little jaded about it. It's like it's not the same.
I do, because I love this culture. Like I love I just told you, KRS-One made 2 of the worst records of my childhood history. And he's still my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't.
Because you know what he's about. You know that he's not phony.
Yes.
Everybody's allowed to miss. Not everybody's going to have a hit. Everybody's allowed a hit or two. That's just the nature of the game.
Right.
But in your heart, you know where he comes from. You know where his heart is. So you respect that. And he's always going to be one of your favorites, you know? And I respect that because you're seeing it for what it really is.
Right.
For what it really is. You know?
Who's your favorite Puerto Rican artist?
Puerto Rican artist?
Yeah.
If I would have to pick a Puerto Rican artist, I'm going to be honest, it would be Mark Anthony.
I was going Hector Lavoe.
Right. Hector Lavoe is classic. I grew up on Hector, but Mark Anthony's my friend.
Oh, damn. All right.
What about
I got
Tito Puentes,
pictures.
man?
Listen,
Nobody wants to say Tito Puentes.
You know what I
You guys know
noticed?
what's the percussion?
I know.
Yeah.
You're the DJ, bro. The percussion.
I'm going to be honest. You know what I noticed? Your loyalty.
Yes. Yeah.
You based your answers based upon who you knew, how your relationships is, and when I you know, we've been doing this for 8 years, right?
Yeah.
Going on 8 years.
Going on to 9 years now.
Jesus,
we are 8
old
plus.
like that. We old.
Oh.
We gonna get you some rewind time. Just try to get you.
It stays right
don't wanna
here
rewind
time.
I'm rewinding my time. I just let y'all
I'm
know.
okay with my time.
Yeah. So that is fucking. How can I put this in a nice way? In the best way. That is fucking awesome. Cause I mean, that's how I am. I'm loyal, but some people tell me I'm loyal to a default. Has that ever been a problem for you? Like,
Let me take some of these knives off my back, bro. Yeah, man.
Right.
No doubt. You know, people have taken advantage of my loyalty. You know, I've helped people make money. I've helped people get established, and I've gotten. I'm not going to mention names. Even I'm not even going to get into it. But
yeah, you don't have to.
You know, yeah. Of course, man. But you know what it is? I wouldn't say loyal. I would say respectful to these people, and I love them. You know why? Because I see where they come from and what they're doing. You understand? They're true to this. They like this. They respect the art. You know, and if you respect the art and you're giving it all, and you've got results, I gotta respect you. I gotta love you for that.
Right.
I'm always gonna show loyalty to you for that. You know. So,
Nah, I can see that in you, man. I can see because I know he suffers from the same thing.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
I suffer from the same thing. It's just like sometimes I don't say no, and I can't say no. The reason why I seldomly go to New York is my number's the same. So the same bozo asshole motherfuckers call me, I still pick up.
Right.
And that's a flaw.
Right.
I'm an idiot. I'm not saying you're an idiot or you're an idiot, but what I'm saying is being loyal to people who's not loyal to themselves
To you.
makes you
Yeah.
you do you regret that, or would you do it all over again? Like, I love
If I
traveling.
regret it, that's me holding that poison inside. So I choose not to regret it because it's like, to me, I'll just take it as a learning experience, and I know for next time to see the signs and avoid it. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, at one point I was mad like a motherfucker. You know,
At hip hop or
at the people who did that to me. I was mad for a long time, hurt. You know. And that was part of the reason why I was addicted to drugs for so long, for cocaine for so long, because that was the thing that was pacifying that hurt. But after years and years and years, I learned, hey, let it go, bro. It ain't worth it.
Right.
It ain't worth it because at the end of the day, you're the one who loses, not them. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do? They're not gonna change. They are what they are. They did what they did. You can't. So move on. I could be mad right now about a whole bunch of shit, but I'm not. Right now, I've got too many positive people around me right now. I've got too many great things about to happen for me, man. I gotta look forward. Fuck all that other
You have to. I want to go back on Legacy, and we haven't touched much on Cold Crush. Give us the beginnings of Cold Crush. How does this all evolve? How does this happen? Because this is such a monumental group for everything hip-hop.
The Cold Crush was something that Tony Tone and I created. Now, let's go back. As a matter of fact, I got my flyers, my show and tell flyers, right?
Let's go.
There were two or three versions of the Cold Crush before. Two other versions before the final version that you know now, the Cold Crush, right?
And you're one of the founding members of Cold Crush.
Yes, me and Tony Tone created the crew. So, Tony Tone, I had met Tony Tone because one of the MCs, which was RC in my crew, went to South Bronx High School. Tony went to South Bronx High School. RC told him about me. Yo, this DJ is nice. This Puerto Rican is nice on the 1 and 2s. Tony was looking to create a crew. Tony was with Breakout. So he told RC, yo, tell him I want to meet him. He said, sure. I said, sure, bring him by. I met Tony Tone. We became friends. He got down with my crew for a little bit. I mean, I got flyers where he was DJing. He was hanging out with us, so I always consider he got down with me because we were close. Listen, Tony Tone is the godfather of my daughter. He was my best man at my first wedding. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. You understand? Me and Tony Tone got mad roots and mad love together from the beginning. So Tony Tone had this vision to create a crew. He came on with me, and we were trying to work things out, because he had ideas, I had ideas, but I already had a crew with MCs, right? So the crew that I had at the time with the MCs.
I need to see the flyer.
I'm showing you, these are copies.
Show it to this camera or whatever you want
to. Okay, this was to show you. If you see the top of the flyer, right, it says Discotheque Productions. That was the company that we had. Me, Tom, and Jerry had that company, Discotheque Productions.
Discotheque Productions and Kevin Epps presents DJ Charlie Chase, DJ Tony Tone, DJ...
Look at the MCs. Read them.
Mighty Mike, MCs. I almost read Doja Cat. But Dota Rock, MC T-Easy AD, Whipper Whip. I feel like that's your cousin. Also, the L Brothers.
Right.
DJs Mean Green.
Mean Gene.
All right.
Right, that's Theodore's brother.
Dyslexic.
That's Theodore's brother.
Cordio?
You're right. Cordio. DJ Cordio.
Grandmaster Wizard Theodore, Robbie Rob, Kevy Kev, Busy B, Starsky at New.
Right? Now, what I wanted you to realize was that the MCs that were down with me was Dada Rock and Whip.
Right.
Wow.
They were Fantastic Five. They were with me. They were Kaz as MCs. They got a lot of MCs left Kaz and then somehow got hooked up with me. So Dot and Whip came with me. Now, this was pre-Cold Crush, right? So then we decided that we were, Tony Tone and I, Tony Tone was the one who came up with the name, the Cold Crush. And I remember when he walked to me and he said, I was at this pinball spot across the street from my house. It was a winter. And he says, we were looking to create a crew. He says, I got the name of the crew that I got the name that I want to name the crew. And there was a flyer with red lettering that says, this is another Cold Crush product. That was the advertisement on the flyer, right?
What was that advertising?
So a show. It was a show. By some other people I didn't know at the time. It said another Cold Crush product. He says, I want to call it the Cold Crush Crew.
Hey, you just jacked those guys, man?
No. They were expressing it was a Cold Crush product. It was a Cold Crush Crew.
Okay.
So I said, I like that name. I said, but if we form this group, we're going to be like family. So we're going to call it the Cold Crush Brothers. And he said, I like that. We're rolling with that. So then, at the time, you'll see, where does it say Cold Crush here? It says Cold Crush somewhere.
I love that you got your notes.
Right down at the very top.
I'm in.
Dada Rock
You got
and
receipts.
Whip a Whip are Cold Crush brothers.
Cold Crush Brothers, Charlie Chase, Tony Tone, Mikey Mike, November 30th. Cold Crush 4 MCs.
Right.
T-Bone,
T-Bone, right?
Donna Rock,
Right.
Easy AD,
Right.
and Whipster,
And Whip a Whip.
Whip a Whip
Right.
to break out.
And DJ Breakout. He was also
DJ
performing that
Breakout.
night, right? So that was the first version of the Cold Crush brothers right there, right? Before that, this was me and the crew. This is before
Wow.
the Cold Crush. This is just me before
These are
Tony Tone.
copies. This is not
These
the
are copies,
original.
not original.
Yeah, he ain't bringing
This
the
is
original.
me
in.
before.
You would have put
I ain't
liquor
gonna
all
lie to
over.
you, I got goosebumps this whole time.
This is me before Tony
Like-
Tone came into the picture. Just me and these MCs that I have formed. Now, if you know Cisco was in the movie Beach Street. He was the MC that was rhyming when the female DJ was cutting.
Right.
Wanda D. That was Cisco, who lived in the projects right across the street from me. And he was my first MC, and he was the one who put these flyers together. He was a flyer maker.
Oh, wow.
He was an artist.
Let's see that.
He went to art and design, and he was a supreme artist.
Art and design in Manhattan. Okay.
went
But
there.
by the way, I'm so sorry. I kept handing him back the flyers. I knew you wanted to look at the flyers.
So now-
I apologize. I should have passed.
I'm
them to
good,
you.
I'm good.
I'm sorry. That was not good.
This is dope.
The fans gonna be like, "You N.O.R.E was hating. Look, N.O.R.E didn't even pass. He didn't finish flyers."
now-
I can hear our hating ass
Now,
fans.
I'm going to say this. It's never been said before, but this is the honest truth, right?
Please.
So, the reason the Cold Crush came to be was because I was always belly aching about the MCs ain't what they weren't as good as I wanted them to be.
Right.
And Tony Tone, my brother, was like, all right, so let's have an audition. And I'm like, great, let's have an audition. We had an audition at South Bronx High School. Now, mind you, for years I was trying to get Cass to come on board. You know, and he was like, nah, I got a crew. I'm doing this and doing that and doing this. So when we were having the auditions, I'm like, I got to get Cass on this crew, right? So I said, Cass, Tony Tone was the one that called him to come down to the audition.
Right.
To come down and I said, tell him that I need help picking out the MCs for my crew. And he's the expert. What I really wanted to do was
You
bring
reeling
down
them in.
so I could reel them in, right? So we went down. I picked, AD was already down because he was Tony's friend. KG was the one that we picked from the audition because, you know, KG had that booming voice. Kaz and JDL show up, right? We picked ADL. KG, we couldn't really find anybody else. So we had that. So I said, Kaz, now this is me and my scheming. I said, Kaz, do me a favor. Let's test out the MCs. Go on there on the mic. We got 4 mics. On South Bronx High School, let's test out the vibe to see how these guys can hang, right? They get up there and I'm like in the back. My fiendish plot is working, you know. And they go and they MC and they're gelling. It's sounding really great. Kaz comes back, right? So I said, so Kaz, what do you think? Like that? I said, listen, man, that's when I pulled him into a corner. He say he won't remember this, but on my children, I will swear on a stack of Bibles, the conversation went this way. I told him, Kaz, I'm like, you know, I've been wanting you to get down for years now. I'm like, you see what I got? I said, I'm telling you, I have a vision. I am going to make, I know that if you get down, we are going to be the biggest shit to ever hit what we're doing right now. We are going to be bigger than anything. I said, all you have to do is agree to trust me. And he thought about that shit, right? He thought about it. And he said, I'll do it, but JDL got to be down. I said, no. I said, I don't want JDL down because JDL had a reputation and all craziness. He's trouble. I don't want him. He said, well, if
kid,
JDL
right?
ain't down, here goes the loyalty.
Okay.
JDL ain't down, then I ain't down. And I was like, Cass said that to me.
Fuck.
So I said, like, fuck it, man. You know, Cass, I want you this bad. Let's do this. Cold Crush was born that day.
Wow.
That was the now I don't smoke. Now,
Almost had him.
I thought it was having me a drink. So now, the fucked up part was that I had the original crew, but I didn't know how to tell the old crew that they were fired. So now I have 2 crews, and I'm trying to figure this out. Me and Tony, Tony left it on me. You gotta tell them this is what you wanted. You gotta tell them. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Luckily, Dada Rock and Whip a Whip had decided to leave the crew because they went with Fantastic 5. which was cool. And then I had to finally tell Teddy and T-Bone, yo, you know, sorry guys, but I'm forming a new crew and this and that. And, you know, they handled it well. They handled it like men, you know, and that was it. And that was when the Cold Crush was born. Wow. And the rest is history, man. But let me tell you, I give credit to my brother Tony Tone, because Tony Tone, he saw the talent that I had. He saw what I could do. And he was like, you need a push. And he gave me the push I needed. He introduced me to everybody. Wow. You know, and that's how I got accepted from the rest of the community. Wow. You know, I already knew, I was already, as far as I'm concerned, I was in the culture already, because I was doing what I was doing. I had fans and all that stuff.
And what year was this all, when you guys finally formed the crew?
79, I think it was.
79. And
yeah.
then you guys were in this when? What year?
Whilst I was, I think, was 81 or 83. I'm
also well after years. You guys were already.
Oh yeah, yeah. How do you think we got into the movie? Because we were.
No, you're already huge.
The funny thing was that we weren't supposed to be on tour and in the movie. No, we were supposed to be in the movie, but the people who were originally supposed to go on the tour was the Fantastic Five and Theodore. But they had a falling out, and then they brought us up, and the rest is history. You know?
And so tell us a little bit behind the scenes of this.
As far as
like just like them stepping to you and then actually filming that scene, which is historic now.
Right. The funny thing was, like, we're gonna go film a movie about hip hop and stuff like that. And in my mind, I'm the musician kicked in. I'm showing up to the shoot in a suit, tie, and all this other shit. And the crew's like, "What the fuck you doing?" So if you look on the scene where I'm in the Dixie Cup with the group, you see that I have a shirt on with some slacks and stuff.
Why'd you do that?
Because I was stupid. I didn't freaking put it together. I'm like, oh, there's a movie. I gotta show up and look fine. And you know, dude, I was new to all this. I didn't know. I was
like,
naive.
This is my Hollywood.
Right, I'm keeping it real. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, you know? So if you see in the movie, I got a shirt on, I got slacks and stuff, and you know, and to kind of make it hip hop, they threw these studs on my wrists and I was cutting. And you'll see it in the movie. Yeah, the movie was shot. It was a low budget movie. We did shit off the cuff. We did shit off the cuff right there. That basketball scene.
But you're spitting too.
Yeah, the basketball scene. We wrote all that shit on the spot. I didn't even have a line. I said, "Kaz, I need help. I don't know what to say." Kaz wrote that line for me.
But were you doing that regularly, spitting?
No, I could. I knew I could rhyme, but I never really.
So that was just for the movie.
That was just for the movie. If you listen to Heartbreakers, another record, I'm rhyming on that with Tony Tone. You know, so I mean, if I really wanted to push it, I could have pushed it and probably become an MC. But I felt out of place.
That wasn't right. That
listen,
wasn't
man. When you're around Grandmaster Caz, you feel this big when you're trying to do what he does. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. Right. So I was happy with what I was doing. Listen,
dope hearing that.
The motivating, the motor, the engine, the power behind the Cold Crush was me and Caz. You understand? Caz is genius. Kaz is genius, and me on the turntables, and I was also the producer and making. I had the musical background. Kaz was a natural. He just had natural showmanship in him, and that's that, bro.
How did you feel when you heard that hip hop finally got accepted in the Olympics?
See, you got to really think. I was like, yo, that's dope.
Yeah, me
it's
too.
Dope. But then I also knew it was like, it ain't going to be what people think it's going to be. And you'll see what I'm saying. Hip-hop, breakdancing is now a form of competition but it's going to be stiff and rigid. In other words, it's not going to be a DJ cutting with guys emceeing. No.
Right.
Like gymnastics, you have to meet a certain qualification.
Right.
You have to qualify
benchmarks.
You have the benchmarks that you have to hit. So they're gonna required now coming up is a backspin.
Right.
You know, like it's gonna be that's what you're gonna hear.
Oh, he triple backspin.
Right.
Okay, you get 2 points.
Definitely did not look at
right
it
now.
like
He's
that.
going to turtle walk and he's going to go. And you know, it's like that's what's going to happen. And people are expecting to see this whole. I'm telling you, that's what it's going to be because that's what the Olympics is about. But baby steps. Hey, we got in. You got to be happy about it. You know? So I tell people, don't get your expectations too high because it's not going to be what it is. But
no, my expectations was way high.
Yeah, right. And mine is too because I know what the future holds.
Crazy Legs came here the next week. They was like, Crazy Legs not a part of it no more.
Right. Well, because the people in France are the one running it.
They cut his legs.
And they're worried because...
Crazy.
Well, he said also, they're worried about
Killed that.
the people that are going to be able to participate, or the athletes that are going to be able to participate, are going to be parents that can afford to send their kids now to certain.
Oh, this is a rich thing. Like,
No, just think about it though. Like the athletes that become Olympians, for the most part, are people that either have the finances to send their kids to train the way they train.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that's what I think Crazy Legs is worried about for the breakdancing community. It's gonna take it away from its origins, and then people are just gonna, like, you know, parents are gonna be like, oh, this is an Olympic sport. Okay, I'll put Jimmy into Olympic breakdancing
and we'll get the
classes.
sponsors, because you gotta have sponsors and stuff like that. So yeah, he's right. He has every right to feel that way, because that's what it's gonna be. Because it's like that with every other sport: gymnastics, ice skating, all that stuff. They all fall under. They all have to meet those parameters. You gotta have a sponsor. You gotta have training. You gotta be accepted into a team.
Right.
You know, and yeah.
Let me ask you. Do you like hip hop awards?
I like hip hop awards when they're real.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest.
Is there a real hip hop?
I'm gonna be honest.
When they're real, I like them.
What's a real one?
The way you just that was different.
Well, because think about it. Right now, they're rewarding people for record sales, and like a lot of times, people are getting awarded for record sales, like the Grammys. I'm not dissing the Grammys, but sometimes it's like, why did this guy get a Grammy over this guy when this guy got way better skill and his album was more than this and that? So to me, it's more based on sales and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a little frustrating when you see like and also, you know, we had a fight for our respect. Remember when Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince got there? They weren't even out on TV.
It was kind of booed like, when they got their award.
That's why it was boycotted.
Kind of
like boycotted.
Yeah, because they wasn't considered. Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince at that time wasn't even considered real hip hop.
Right, because the people that really, he was commercial.
And again, remember we were speaking about it. It was us judging us.
Right,
but they boycotted it on behalf of they were real hip hop.
And then Jay boycotted it afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, I boycotted with them, and I wasn't even nominated.
I think you weren't even born.
No, I'm talking about with Jay. No, because that was a real thing. Dame, Jay, and everyone.
Jay, okay.
Yeah, no, that was a real thing. They was like, we're not going. And I didn't go, but I don't know.
Listen, man, somebody had to break that ceiling.
Yeah.
Somebody had to.
Do you think it should be a hip hop awards? And if there is one, would you be the person to lend that helping hand?
I would love to if they would ask me for that, no doubt. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel that the Cockroach Brothers belongs in the
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Hall of Fame, of course,
absolutely, hands down.
Now,
Absolutely.
I mean,
yes.
Listen, every successful MC that I've met, platinum selling or whatever, they always say, you guys are the reason. I'm doing what I'm doing because we followed you.
Right.
I followed you, you know? And to hear that, and then it makes me feel good, but it's like, I think they would look. You know what gives me hope now? When Hurt got accepted. Okay.
Yeah, to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, we have a chance. I'm not in the crew anymore, but I earned my spot in that because
What do you mean you're not in the crew anymore? You're a gang member. You in it for life. What do you mean?
Those are my brothers. I love them to death.
Right.
And
Wait, you consider yourself not being Cold Crush anymore?
No.
Don't
In
say
my
that.
heart, I am.
Take a shot.
But I'm not.
Take a
I'm not
shot.
part of the shows.
Give him a
I
shot.
quit the crew.
Right, but you started the crew.
Give him a
Right.
shot.
So I feel that I deserve any accolades like the Rock and Roll Hall of
Yeah.
Fame because I helped put that our group on the map.
Absolutely, man.
I didn't leave because I was mad. I left.
Just Blaze, don't go nowhere.
I didn't leave because I was
We watch
mad. I left because I felt the group was being stagnant. They were too complacent. They were happy
Right.
with what we did when I knew we could have done much more. And I decided I can't do this with y'all, so I got to go out and
But
do
yeah,
my
any
own.
accolades Cold Crush get, you have to be a part of it. Just like how when NWA and Ice Cube reached out to DOC to be a part of it, when they got inducted, they were like, yo, people don't think of you as NWA, but you are NWA.
That's
So you
correct.
coming through.
Right,
And you
no.
are a founding member
And
of Cold Crush.
I'm always feel part of the Cold Crush, regardless of what regardless of what. I still support them. I still big them up. To this day, I do major shows and I always give them a shout out. I always give them the credit, you know? But listen, We were together 40 some odd years. That's a marriage.
No, you can't even say them. It's you.
Right.
46 years old.
No,
It's you
it's
guys.
them because I have to. It's not anybody, one person that can take credit for what the Cokers did. It was all a collective. You understand? We did.
No, what I'm saying, yeah, you as in you are part of that. I don't mean you solo. You can't keep saying them, excluding yourself is what I mean.
Well, when I say them in the sense that, now they're doing their thing and I'm doing mine. That's what I mean
No, I
by
get
that,
that. Yeah,
in that
yeah.
sense. And I'm always big them up and I'm always be happy for them there. But I am not, I can't be a part, I'm not a part of the group no more. I have to, unless they want to decide to start changing things a little bit more and we just kind of have to sort out things between us two, then I would consider it. But we have to start taking a step forward. I can't live in the past anymore. I got to move forward. There's so much more,
Right.
that
You
we
ever
can
met
do.
Just Blaze?
I met him in Puerto Rico, I think it was.
Jesus.
For the Rocksteady anniversary. Briefly, he was running out. Somebody told him I was there, and he stopped, walked over to me, and he said, "Yo, pleasure meeting you," and he
Just
ran.
Blaze hip hop.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Legendary.
on stage, just to be clear.
Was it that way? Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Jesus, man.
This has
I'm
been
so
great.
honored that you came and sat down with us, man. So honored to give you your flowers. So honored to tell you how much you mean. And everything that I said in the beginning, about, you being like Drink Champs' father, it's the truth. Because
That's a big responsibility.
yeah, well, I'm giving it to you.
You gotta pay child support, man.
You got to pay child support. You ain't give us no child support. God damn it. But but in all seriousness, I want you to really know how much you are adored in hip hop. I want you to understand that this is your platform. You can come here, promote pink toenails if we want to. It doesn't matter. You go. By the way, Monster. Let's big up to Monster Energy. But if whatever the fuck you want to promote, you want to come here. This is your house. We really appreciate what you did because now he's super DJ guy. I'm super Puerto Rican.
And like it ends there, right?
But I was so excited today. I'll be honest. We've both.
I've been wanting to meet you for a while,
Yes.
just to chop it up,
We've
yeah.
both. No, me and him both been excited as fuck because that's what we started this show for. Is to make sure that people that been in this game 10 years or more do not get forgotten.
I appreciate that, man.
And this is the only genre in the world that if you have 10 years or more, they say you washed up. There's not in rock and roll, they don't have a word washed up.
No.
And
Motherfuckers damn near die on stage.
The
and they-
Rolling Stones are still
Mick
selling out
Jagger's
stadiums.
900 years old.
And they're still
They still
selling out
cocking and doing
stadiums.
cocaine.
This nigga's still eating blood. Nigga's and he's live.
Where did he get that shit
Vegan
from?
blood, though. It's vegan blood.
Vegan blood?
Yeah,
I ain't
vegan
know.
blood.
I ain't know. But why in our culture do we even allow this conversation to even participate? To even happen?
Because we have to continue to raise up these heroes and make sure that we give them the accolades they deserve and that the youth grows up looking at them the way the heroes that they are. You know what I'm saying?
One of my favorite Jay-Z albums right now is 444. And he made it at 40 what? I don't even know what age this nigga was. But why we can't praise us as we age?
I agree with you.
Wine gets better.
I agree with you.
That is
With
the goal.
time.
The goal is aging.
In fact, if you drink some wine that's premature, it's disgusting. What do you think? I'm not making this up. You ever drink premature wine?
It's called yakarada.
It's called don't drink it. But what did they say? They say this is a Cabernet from 1844.
Or you could have 1998.
Maybe 19, I'm sorry. But why in our culture we don't praise each other. So I wanted to tell you face to face, man to man, you are appreciated. You are loved.
Thank you, man.
We got your motherfucking back, and we want to continue to support you.
Thank you.
Because without you, there's truly nobody in this room. No. Chill. Besides, if it's not for you, there's probably nobody in this room. There's probably nobody in this room together. I know how hard it is being that oddball or the first one.
Yeah.
I know how hard it is. I know it. Mm-hmm. I've done it so many times, and then they tell me I'm a genius after it works. But as I'm doing it, everyone's looking at me like, you idiot. What are you doing? I brung a tight shirt kid in my studio session. He became Pharrell Williams later. But as I was doing it, everyone looked at me and said, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Right.
Chad Hugo was there too. Let's not get it twisted. But I was the first. So when you're the first, you get shut down. Yeah. You get chastised. You get criticized. Everyone says that until it works.
Right.
And you not only was the first one, all documented. Right. Documented. Right. I know you say there's other Puerto Ricans that was before you.
And Latinos, yeah.
And Latinos, whatever, before you. But let me just tell you something. We here at Drink Champs want to give you your flowers. We want to give you your roses. We want to tell you how much
absolutely
you're appreciated. You are sincerely class personified. And we got your motherfucking back.
Thank you so much, man.
I got to listen, man.
You know, let me tell you something, bro.
Yes, please.
I always tell people this is an important platform because you guys just don't talk about hip hop. You bring in NFL athletes, NBA athletes, politicians, people from all walks of life that matter, that people need to hear, that people you feel that you feel is important. This is an important platform. Now, my crew will tell you, I don't do interviews. I stopped doing interviews years ago. EFN reached out to me 2 years ago. Right. 2 years ago, he says, yo,
we've been stalking
whenever, nah, you ain't even
we've been stalking you. Go ahead,
no. EFN says, yo, we would love to have you on Drink Champs. Just let us know and we'll fix a slot for you.
Yes.
And for years, I didn't want to do anything, you know, and this time around, with all this controversy and everything, and I turned to my crew, I had a conversation with them, and I said, I think it's time. And I reached out to EFN, and he was like, no doubt, made it happen. And I'm here because this is an important, I'm not here because it's popular, because y'all got millions of followers. It's not that. It is an important platform where people who have an important thing to say, with an important, how would you say, an important agenda.
Yes.
They need to be here because a lot of people who don't know, that are uninformed, tune into this and get informed.
Right.
So this is the platform for that, and I appreciate the invitation.
No, we appreciate it. We're honored.
Let's reiterate this before we wrap it up.
I still gotta say
2024, you are the Puerto Rican
ambassador to the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Can we just call it the Charlie Chase Parade?
No.
I've been lying to my people all day.
Let's just call it the Charlie Chase Parade.
I thought that's what I thought it was. So I've been telling Diego,
you are.
I was like, yo, I just want y'all to know. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, Puerto Rican Day Parade changed the name to the Charlie Chase Parade. So just let's ride with the rumor.
Okay.
Let's just ride with now the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Charlie Chase Parade.
Yo, listen, I'm giving it to you. It's called the fucking Charlie Chase fucking Parade. We can still call it the Puerto Rican Day Parade on the side.
Okay.
On the side, but up front, we're calling it the Charlie motherfucking Chase Parade.
I appreciate that.
Because, you want to say something? You were saying?
Yeah, go.
So, I mean, we've spoken about what I've done in the past.
Right.
We haven't spoken about what we
Please, let's go.
I'm always about the future, right?
Let's go.
So right now, my partners are here with my business partners and stuff. We have a new platform now that we created. It took a few years to put this together. Okay. We basically have the same the same, how would you say, capabilities of Netflix and Amazon. We have a platform now. We can provide that. We've already done our first pay-per-view show. We can do anything we want to on this platform. We are now Roku. We're getting ready to go on Fire Stick, and we're getting ready to go on Apple TV. It's called Black Marker Media. Black Marker TV is the channel that we have on. You can tune on, go to blackmarker.com, and you can log on that way. Or if you have Roku, you can go on there for now until the other two platforms.
Roku, ROKU, right?
Yes.
I got that.
Is it like a Tubi?
No, it's not like two. It's a platform of its own.
Oh, its own.
Would you consider it a Tubi, Eric? Eric is the guy that put it together. Eric, el presidente.
You look like my friend Eric. You gotta relax. Yeah.
Hey, I'm an Eric too.
Right.
Oh, I forgot you were Eric. Okay.
So that platform is Black Marker Media. Is blackmarker.com TV, blackmarkertv.com. You'll see, you go on there, you see it. We have programming, hip hop programming, or you'll see me on there, interviews and stuff like that. Right now, we're about maybe 10,000 and change viewers every month that we have.
Right.
We're slowly growing. We just started it.
Right.
You know, so we're looking to do shows now, pay-per-view stuff. But our platform is so different that if you have a business and you want to have a meetings, a Zoom meeting style, that's like, you don't need Zoom. You can do it on Roku. You can do it on Apple TV. You can do it on a Fire Stick.
But what's your platform called?
Black Marker.
It's Black Media. It's Black Media Television. It's Black Media is the name of the company, but the channel is Black Marker TV.
Okay.
Right? Black Marker, like Magic Marker.
Right.
We got that happening right now. This is blowing up for us. We're getting ready to do that.
Dope.
So this is the future for us. This is going to be big. Right now we're talking
Yeah,
to.
I just told you the story a little while ago when I walked.
Yeah, Cuban and you started to hate a little bit. Like I
Not
see
at
the
all.
Cuban hate coming out.
Listen, man, I'm pro Latino. All Latinos, bro.
That's very racist.
Right now, we're having a conversation with the Florida Board of Education to come on board because they're considering coming onto the platform to conduct all their business on the platform.
Right.
It's a multi-level thing like you've never seen, bro, and it's all Latino owned. You know what I'm saying? We're pushing that forward right now. Right now, I'm also producing for Natalie's Grace.
Right, you mentioned that.
For that, that's getting ready to come out. You know, and we're just looking forward, man. Oh, forward and upward. That's where we're going with this, bro.
Dope.
That's it.
Let's take a flip and do some drops. And
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank
Well,
you
thank
so
you
much.
for inviting me. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No, I want to
Thank
say
you.
it again. Thank you. Because when you look at the history, you doing what you did, and it was the funniest thing is we Googled it. Obviously, we had to, right? And then Fat Joe pops up, and they say, oh, "Okay, cool." He influenced Fat Joe, and Fat Joe always says that how much you influenced him. But then I come up after, and I'm like, "This is so dope!" Like
But people need to hear your story more because I didn't even know about this until I saw De La Calle.
That's right.
Now he gonna come out with his autobiography and his documentary.
And my documentary. But let me say it to you in front these people who listen to us. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Because
thank you, man.
I truly believe that if you wasn't as resilient as you was and stick to what you was doing, because when they said, when I looked at and they said, man, why you playing that type of music?
Yeah.
I related to that shit so much, and I was just like, holy shit. And I told you my wife was right there, and I looked at my wife, I was like, this man's life is my life.
Right.
It's literally
parallel. It's parallel.
It's literally my life in a different way, like in a different way, right? But it's literally, and I was just like, damn. And I had to tell you this, face to face, man to man. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you sticking it out the way you did.
Oh, thank you so much.